guys, what's up? It is May 28th, 2021. This is the Total Nostalgia
Pop Culture Experience.
there you go, podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm David.
I'm Renee.
I'm Philip.
And boy, have we got a show for you tonight.
Yeah, hopefully.
We're going to take some of the most beloved franchises from our childhoods.
Well, technically, I guess
Children
mine
hoods.
isn't from my childhood.
And it's probably not beloved either. But we're going to
It's
take
beloved.
those. We're going to apply a real world cast to those.
Yep. Before Hollywood does it.
Right. Possibly give some ideas about plot or style of movie and stuff. I think Philip's got a director picked out, director of photography,
That went all in.
casting agent,
Yeah.
costume designer, background music.
You
He's
gotta
got
have
the
all
whole
that.
thing. Yeah.
You got everything.
He's basically ready to search for funding and
Yeah.
get this thing
I
rolling.
think, yeah. I might just
Need someone
self-fund
to
it.
write a
No,
script.
that'd be all right too. Yeah. Okay.
I can write the script.
You ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
But
Probably would suck,
before
too.
we roll into that, it's time for Fortnite.
I played last night.
Oh, really? Is it fresh on your mind?
Fresh.
Okay.
I played, I think, 3 games. I won 1 solo match.
Yeah.
Didn't really add anything.
Solo is just your solo, like your man for himself.
Yeah, like Battle Royale,
How many
100.
people? 100.
100.
Okay.
I don't know. I often wonder if it's 100 real people or if there's some bots and you just don't know they're bots.
Is it definitely 100, or will they start a match with 60?
No, it's 100.
always going to be
It's
100.
always 100.
Yeah.
Because there's some people, and I'm like, if you've been playing this game long enough and you
Mhm.
don't have a skin
Mm-hmm.
and you're still using like the
Well,
default skin.
if I started today, that'd be who I am, and I'm sure there's a bunch. You mean
Yeah.
think about the
Yeah,
population of the
yeah.
world? There's a
Probably
lot of
true.
people that this
There's
is their
probably a
first
lot of
time. or
kids, too, that's
Yeah.
playing
but
that.
I
Yeah.
played
Their
last
parents
night.
ain't going to buy them no skin.
whatever. Yeah.
They added, you can get a Beast Boy skin.
Oh, that's cool.
It is kind of cool.
Just green skin, like doesn't
Green
change.
skin, and he's kind of, how he's kind of flashy.
Yeah.
He's got like a nice jacket, and his hair's all
He's got like a
styled.
red and white suit or whatever, doesn't he?
And
in the comics.
he can go back and forth between. He's got like a suit,
Uh-huh.
and then his like casual look,
Uh-huh.
and then you ain't played the game, but you can you can do dance moves.
Yeah, yeah.
You can do the dance thing with him, and he transforms into a gorilla.
And that's what I was going to say. It's like, boy, if he doesn't transform into somebody, that's kind
yeah,
of
for
like,
real.
why'd you pick
I don't
him
know
to be
though
a-
if you can run around and play with
You
the
probably
gorilla.
can't. Probably
which is
can't.
a missed opportunity.
But it makes sense that they found a way to fit it in, like in the celebrations and dances and stuff like that. That's if you've got to stick it somewhere, that's a good place for it. Otherwise, I was going to say, if he doesn't transform at some point, what's the point of him
no
being
point
in
of having
there?
him just
yeah,
a green guy.
yeah. And before we forget, a little disclaimer: outside in the room behind us, there's a graduation party going on. Now, earlier we were getting the greatest hits. We had Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop Dogg. It was
Yeah.
it was a 90s, early
Wonder what we'll get
2000s.
now.
Great. Now the party may be winding down. I hadn't heard music in a while, but if it kicks back up, you'll hear it. They have pretty good taste in music.
Since we've been
Yeah,
here.
no, right after y'all walked in, it quit.
I heard the
basically,
sound
but-
like a speech.
Yeah, yeah.
I heard somebody just go woo right
Like
there.
wooing,
Yeah.
wooing. I
Yeah.
think it may be
There's always
winding
woo
down. It's about
girls.
8:30, so maybe it is. But yeah, if it kicks back up, you'll know why.
Yeah.
So back to Fortnite.
I
I saw something about building towers and putting like a gym on the towers.
Don't
I
know
just-
about that, but
I saw
did.
something on Google about it.
Hmm.
I did. They've got this weird basketball theme thing going on, and I think it's like they have like a creative mode where you can play like outside of the battle royale. I don't ever play in those.
You're just like building stuff without fighting.
I don't know. They showed it when I logged in last night. So it's been a while. It showed it, and it's like it almost looked like there's like no gravity or something. And there's like these little basketball hoops all over the place, and then people were jumping through them. And they got like a, I think I saw it too, like maybe like a death race or death royale where it's like you're in a car.
Yeah.
It just popped up last night. I
So
didn't
they're
click.
basically taking their framework and trying to make any kind of game they can out of it.
Well, they
or
have
something.
this thing, and I don't know how you go about doing it, but where people can create their own like in-game game,
Mhm.
and you can put it, and if it does good, they'll feature it on their like creative thing.
You kind of make up your own rules, like
Yeah,
within
you
the
do your own-
framework.
yeah,
of,
you do your own little thing.
That's cool. There's a lot of online shooters and stuff like that used to do that.
The
you know?
basketball skins though are stupid.
Yeah,
Like you always have a backpack,
yeah,
and your backpack's a stupid basketball rim,
yeah.
and it's just I don't like basketball.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. There's an
Basketball's
audience
dumb.
probably for that, I imagine, or they wouldn't have done it.
I don't know why they did it.
Yeah. Here's
Ooh, the
mu-
music
all right,
is cranking
It's kicking
up.
back up, y'all.
Oh
so.
yeah, that's what I was trying to listen to it.
What do we
so-
got? I don't know what it is, but I'm sure y'all can hear it out there.
Yeah. You know, if you know, like, identify in the comments.
Yeah.
Renee may pick it up here in a minute.
In my
So
head, but But it kind of
Yeah,
sounds
not
like
my
I don't know.
flavor.
I can't hear it.
So I played a little bit of video games this week. Not Fortnite.
Not Fortnite.
Not Fortnite, but I spent a little money. So I talked to you early. Yeah, as always, every week. Spend a little money.
Fortnite's free.
Surprise.
I know. Well, I've got
Fortnite's
it.
free.
I've got it downloaded. It's on there. Just never
You don't
played
spend
it.
any money.
Yeah.
If you don't want to.
Yeah, I like spending money though.
Well, you
get the
can
good
spend
stuff
money.
when
You can
spend money.
you can need to get
Seth
on
does
there.
too.
You need to get on there and get that Batman suit before it's gone.
Yeah, I
the
should.
0-point suit.
I probably should.
I almost got enough V-Bucks for it.
I saw issue 3, I think, on the shelf at the comic store the other day. So
Mm.
that's continuing on.
Yeah.
But so I told you I bought that Super Mega Baseball 3 last week. I think we mentioned.
Mhm.
I finally got around playing it a little bit last night. It's pretty good. It's kind of like you can go real deep with it. You can make it real semi, I guess, with like statistics. But then it also has a bunch of goofy stuff where like this particular player has a perk or whatever. Like this guy likes inside pitches, which I guess is not really.
It's realistic.
It is, yeah. Some hitters are going to handle inside, but the way they identify it, and it's almost like it's almost a +2 stat to inside hitting or whatever. It's kind of like that. They video game it up a little bit, and they're all the fielding's pretty automatic. I enjoyed it for what it was. I think you could play it as simple or as complex as you want to, but I enjoyed it.
Is that the only thing you played?
No, so I told you a long
Did you
time
play
ago.
the Super Mario?
No, still in the wrapper. Though I did get all those games.
I played mine. I played a couple of
Yeah.
levels on it.
How is it?
It's basically like the old ones, just new
Updated.
stuff going on.
Yeah, just and
Yeah,
it's,
so it's the same scroll format, same
is it like
mushroom guys.
3D characters on it in a 2D environment kind of or whatever? Like you're not running 3D, right? It's
No,
all.
it's just still basically
yeah.
just like old Super
But
Mario
you like
World.
it?
Yeah, it's alright. It's
Okay.
alright.
See,
You
I
can
never.
obviously play
I don't like
multiplayer though. You can play
Mario.
Now I
like
have
to 4
seen
people.
that, yeah, and we've seen videos
But I gotta
of
switch lights,
it. It
so
is chaotic.
it seems like
And
it.
what they said is like, yes, you can play, but you should
And you
not.
can be
'Cause, like,
Peachette. So they've got like Peachette,
Oh, and
which puts you
Toadette.
on a easy. Well, see, there wasn't a Toadette. So what I had was Mario, Luigi, Toad, and then Peachette, which said easy above it. And I was like,
You bring
we'll just
something
go
up.
on
That's
Mario.
a conversation I've had with my daughter because she likes the characters Mario. She doesn't like the games that much just because she's never been great at them. So anything you're not good at, you hate.
Yeah.
But it's like so there's Peach and there's Daisy.
Yep.
And I was always like, well, which one's Mario's girlfriend? Like
I don't know if they've ever even said that Princess Peach is
Well,
his
Princess
girlfriend.
But I mean, they
Peach.
imply. I mean, you would think
No, they
that
get
yourself, you
married
know.
because
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
even their amiibos, they're in wedding outfits.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I
which
know
is
that's
it?
who he's always saying.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what I understand is Peach is from the original games, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
She's the princess or whatever, the
Yep.
Toadstool Kingdom. Daisy is from the Game Boy, the original Game Boy, Super Mario Land. I think is where Daisy came from.
Because you don't ever see
I
her or
don't know
anything
anything
besides
about
just
her.
like amiibos and stuff, and that's about it.
Well, any game that has like the whole cast, like
Mm-hmm.
Mario Kart, and I guess probably I don't know, Smash Brothers has her or not, or any
don't
game,
think I've
any
seen
time that
Smash
they,
Brothers.
if Waluigi is there, usually Peach is there. You know, it's kind of if they ever start digging deep or
Yeah.
whatever. But it's like I always kind of just treated them two as interchangeable. It's like Peach
Daisy
and Daisy's the
is,
same person in
I
my
know,
mind, but they're
That's what
not.
it seems like.
Yeah.
Maybe that's Luigi's chick now.
Well, I think Luigi, they eventually implied that he's with somebody, and maybe it's the chick from Galaxy or something. I don't know.
See, I don't even know who's in Galaxy.
There's some Luma,
Oh,
Luma something or other or something.
I don't know crap about Mario.
Well, I don't either.
She's
but-
blue.
Yeah, Princess something or other.
I don't even know. Like,
You
I've
got
never,
your phone right there.
I've never played a
remember
Mario.
her
I didn't mean to
name.
bring this up to derail us, but it was one of
Yeah.
those things like I always hear.
Everybody at home's
to
going,
me,
screaming
yeah, I'm
the
sure
name.
they are. To me, Peach and Daisy were interchangeable when I was kids. Like, yeah, that Peach is her first name or something like that. It's like we're talking about the same person.
Yeah.
But, anyways, moving on. So remember I told you. I think it came out sometime it came out for PlayStation 2. It was the Godfather. The
Princess
video game.
Daisy
Yeah.
is the love interest of Luigi.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're talking about the other blonde hair girl that
I'm
wears
just
blue.
telling you.
But so
I just
does,
looked up,
does it say
it's-
she's from Super Mario Land? Is that
It
right?
just says she's the beautiful tomboy princess of
Okay.
Sarasa Land.
Okay.
Whatever that is.
Yeah, that's that sauce that they make, that Sarasa sauce.
Yeah.
It's kind of spicy, right?
I can tell you. Let's see if it says something better first.
I'm pretty sure it's Super Mario Land on Game Boy, I think.
Super Mario Land.
Yeah. Yeah.
1989.
Yeah, I had that. Because
You
what
got
was
it.
it? Was the Super Mario Land, and then there was Super Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins, I think.
Oh, there's so many.
Yeah, yeah. But they were pretty good. I remember there was in the underwater levels on Super Mario Land, you were in a little submarine, and it was pretty cool. I feel like my headphones are walking off the back of my head.
They have her. You know that crappy Super Mario Brothers movie?
Yeah.
It says that she's in that.
I think she's the princess because Luigi falls in love with the princess in that movie.
She appears
so that
as a
makes sense.
protagonist in the 1993 film Super Mario Brothers.
You remember when Bob
That's one I
Hoskins and
wish
John
that they would
Leguizamo?
remake.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. But yeah, Luigi's the one that falls in love with the princess in that movie, not Mario. That's right. Because Mario has his own girl in the real world, I think.
Yep.
I want to say.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so back to video games.
Yeah.
Sometime for
Here we go.
PlayStation 2, they made a Godfather video game, and they eventually made a Godfather Part 2 also. It wasn't spectacular, but I remember playing it when I was a kid. I really liked it because it was like it had the New York City split in like 5 zones or whatever, and one of the 5 families controlled each of the zones. And as you got into some of the other, like you started out, I think the Tattaglias were the lower level family that you start out fighting or whatever. They were pretty easy, but if you ever wandered into like Barzini and Cuneo or whatever, the bigger 5 families from that you never really saw much of in the movies, like you stay out. Like until you're ready to go there, you don't go there.
Oh, you
'cause
get killed
they'll
quickly.
wear you out.
Did you play that on PS2?
Yes, I did.
So you broke out a PS2?
No. When I was a kid, I played it on
Oh.
PS2. Yeah.
Oh, I was
So-
talking about like.
When PlayStation 3 came out, much like PlayStation 5 and all this stuff now, there wasn't no games. So when their first move was like, hey, let's go
course.
get a bunch of old games and make PlayStation 3
Remaster
version.
them.
So they made a version of it called the Dawn Edition, I think it is. Right, the Godfather the Dawn Edition.
Change that
And-
one thing.
Yeah, right. I think it looked a little better. It added some stuff to
the
it.
graphics look a little bit
Something
nicer.
like
we
that.
add one more.
Yeah,
like,
there's one car that you see on the streets that you
yeah,
didn't used to see.
yeah.
Anyways, I like the game enough. I was like, PlayStation 3 is still current enough. Like I can still play PlayStation 3 games. You try to go back and play PlayStation 1 games. It's tough. It's tough.
They're awful.
It's got to be
Graphics
a
are awful.
it's got to be a real good game. So
or like a
or a simplistic game.
cartoon
That was
style.
like me trying to play that
animation.
Mario 3D All Stars.
Yeah, right. There's some of these things are a product of their time. It's hard to go back.
It
and
is.
Yeah, some of the simplistic games like you could go back and play role playing games or Japanese role playing games because the controls for that today are still pretty much the same. It's not real time action, that kind of stuff. Some of those games play fine.
If I could
Yeah,
find
and
an
the
old
story is
computer,
what
I
those
would
are
go back and
about.
play
Right.
Sims, but I can't find an old enough computer. I found an old Sims,
You
but
got-
I don't
you
have an
gotta
old
go-
enough computer
You
with
gotta
like
just
Windows
go ahead-
98.
Go ahead and step up to the new one. It ain't
Yeah,
much different.
I was about to say, I bet
It
it's
is
the
But see,
same.
I like all my
Super-
cheats, and I have like all the
They got
expansion
all of that.
packs.
I just
you
got
can
that.
get
They're
all
so
of that.
expensive.
Yeah.
I just got that Sims game in that should play on a modern PC.
What are they
Sims
up to? 4? Yeah, 4.
Yeah.
And they have a
Where'd you
ton
get
of
that at?
expansion packs.
I
Where's
just
it
put
at?
it out. It's in the store.
See, because you don't let me take pictures of all the stuff.
You gotta
That's
get
why you got to
them.
come in the store because Phil puts stuff out and we don't get pictures of it. So that's why a lot of stuff doesn't get on the Facebook
Yeah,
page.
peek over the counter when you get there. You might find some goodies
Yeah.
back there you might want to make an offer on.
You probably
Oh,
will.
while
I
we're
bought a
talking-
bunch of
Damn
stuff.
full
Yeah.
right
While we're
now.
talking about games too, do you want to talk about that Mortal Kombat 11 tournament?
I got to finish my story first.
When they get
let
done?
David-
Yeah,
let
but-
Tug finish his story.
Tug.
Oh, just so everybody knows, if you did see the last podcast, David told us that the greatest comedy of all time is
Oh, so
MacGruber.
good. It's
Me
so
and Renee
good.
attempted to watch it. We couldn't even finish it.
And I hate that you've even
So-
said that because
so-
wait a minute. Now all these people are like, we can't take Philip and Renee's word on anything.
No, I was about to say, so
You know?
if David suggests anything,
Oh,
just
man.
take that with a
Hey,
grain of salt.
I'll tell you
it
what.
may not be a good movie.
Watch it for yourself. And matter of fact, we
We'll do a poll.
That's what I mean. We love comments. We don't get a ton, but honestly, if you like MacGruber, reach out. Like, let me know why you do or don't like MacGruber. MacGruber, because it's hard for me to articulate why, but I'm having a harder time understanding why they don't. So let us know.
Yeah.
Back to story.
Anyways, back to David's
So
video game
I was
adventure.
like, yeah, I'll pick up that Godfather for PlayStation 3. Like, that'll be good enough because I'd actually forgotten that it was even a PlayStation 2 game to begin with. For whatever reason, that game's expensive.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I've had it for PS3. It is
it's
expensive.
It's expensive. Yeah, that's
I
one.
can't remember. I think it's
A
like
sealed
30
copy can get on up to $100.
I think it's like $40.
Right, and
I'm gonna look it
I'm the
up.
same with my games, the same with anything else. Like I want the case to be pristine. I want the manual to never be increased. The disc is perfect. So buying a used copy on eBay is a gamble. Like unless you get a ton of
Yeah.
pictures and the guys guarantee, it's hard to get a good offer on.
It's $50 loose.
Yeah, that's
disc
what I mean.
only.
That's what I'm saying.
$72.88 complete.
yeah.
That's
And how much
COVID-
sealed does it
COVID
say?
prices too.
$91.59 trending value.
Yep. That's about what I was looking at.
Gotta love COVID.
This has went
Yeah.
way up
Ain't
since
that
last
crazy?
time
That's
I
because
had it.
COVID, man.
Why the Godfather?
I've
It-
had
pe-
this game.
Everything video game has went up.
People didn't say that it was great at the time. Even I liked it for what it was, but I mean, compared to this was around the same time like Grand Theft Auto and stuff was coming out. You could do a lot more in those games. I love the Godfather movie, so it was more of those things like I'll cut this game some breaks because it's characters like there's Sonny, and there's the Don and all that stuff. So I gave it some breaks on that. Anyways, I was looking up. I don't remember what I was looking for. I think I was looking to see if the Godfather was available on PC because you can always get a Steam code or whatever a lot cheaper than you can. Anyways, in the Reddit forums and all that kind of stuff, whatever, it's like, yeah, forget Godfather. Like, play Mafia. Like, that's the game you want to play. And I'd always heard Mafia, and but that's an old game. The first Mafia came out in 2002. We're talking about an old game.
But it's on PS4.
It is, but
I think like Mafia 3 or something like that remastered. I've got that super dope Mafia 3 collector's edition where you get the vinyl with it, and the vinyl's pretty cool.
There's more to my story.
Okay, hey, I'm just trying to sell a Mafia 3 collector's edition out there.
If you're interested, reach out.
Yeah, reach out. Let me know. Hit me up.
And I might be. Who knows? But so in the search for this, I was like, okay, I'm giving up on Godfather. I'm not paying that for PlayStation 3, and it's not available on PC. It used to be on Steam. It's not anymore. People started talking about Mafia, and I always thought it looked neat. But it's like when Mafia came out, it was like, oh yeah, man, you got to obey the speed limits. You got to stop at red lights. Like the cops will be all over you and all this stuff. It didn't sound great. Then they made Mafia 2. They made Mafia 3. I think the newest one is Mafia 3, and I think it may have came out for PlayStation 4 around.
I know one. I'm pretty sure it's Mafia 3.
I think you're right. And anyways, as I got to digging around or whatever, I found out that they did a what do they call it? Ultimate Edition or whatever it is. They remastered Mafia 1, and that was just like last year it came out. And so I started looking for a Steam code for that. Found it. It's going for about $30. I think it was on sale this week on Steam. So I was like, I'll pay $30 for that. Well, I get on Steam and they're like, but if you want, we could give you the remastered copy of Mafia 2 as well as Mafia 3. And you can get all that for $40. I'm like, well, I'd be stupid not to do that. No, $10 you get 3. So I ended up getting. They gave you Mafia Classic.
That's
Mafia,
like $20 a piece.
That's what
or
I'm
less.
saying. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I got Mafia 1. Classic, Mafia 1 Ultimate or Remastered, whatever it is, Mafia 2 Remastered, and whatever Mafia 3 is. I think there's just one version of it, maybe. Anyway, I got all those for $40. I was like, I'm going to sit down this morning.
$10 a piece.
That's what I'm saying. Perfect. So I sat down this morning. I'm going to play that. And I bought one of those. I meant to call you out and see if you had one, but I bought one of those Xbox, the wireless adapter for like if you're going to play use an Xbox 360 wireless controller on a PC, you got to have this little plug-in dongle or whatever so that it connects or whatever. And I've had one. Since I bought a gaming PC last year. Bought one then. It's been fine. Works great. Well, the way I've got my room set up now, my computer sticks out past the shelf just a little bit. Well, in addition to that little dongle stuck out like 1.5 inches out the front of it. I came by, snagged it with my leg or something, just kinked it over. I didn't know that at the time. I was like, I'll straighten this out, and I stuck it in there. I don't play games often enough to know about it. Fired it up this morning. Couldn't get my controller to sync. The light didn't come up on the little adapter or whatever. So I bought another one, so that's supposed to be here. Best Buy's supposed to have it here Tuesday. So now after the 4-day weekend, when I would have some time to play some games.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I do have a cord to this controller, and I could run that cord out there. But it's like, golly, man, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how priorities align.
Anyway. You don't have to work today? You don't have to work today?
No. We, I guess I don't know why they did it, but they told us to work 4 10s this week and take Friday off.
Because of the Memorial?
I guess. It gives us a 4-day weekend.
So that you're off on Monday, so
we
they
are
got to
off on
pay
Monday.
you. Because if you don't work the day before, probably, a lot of places you don't work the day before, they don't pay you for the holiday.
We would definitely get paid for the holiday. No, because yeah, we'll definitely get paid for the holiday. Yeah.
I'm getting paid for the holiday.
If you don't work the Friday before, we don't pay you on that.
Now, one thing that does stink is if say there is a holiday in a week, and we work on deadlines. So like if something's due on Friday, it doesn't matter how many hours you work up till that day, you get it done. So if a week, like say next week, there's an 8-hour holiday Monday. If we had a deadline on Friday and I had to work 60 hours or whatever, overtime does not kick in until I work that 8 hours of holiday. So normally overtime starts at 40 hours. On a holiday week, overtime don't start paying until 48 hours. So they get 8 hours at standard time before they start paying me overtime. So if there's I'll make it to where they're it's like I ain't working no overtime on a week of a holiday. It's like I don't care if it gets done or not. Like I won't be here. There'll be some reason I can't be here. Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of
it stinks. It stinks. Yeah, it's just one of those loopholes that you have to work 40. You have to labor 40 hours.
And I assume that y'all's company makes those.
No, I think that's an industry standard thing.
It may be, but I mean, let's be real.
They could.
If
they
wanted
to
pay you the overtime for the 40.
Absolutely.
It's
now,
their company.
I don't think I've ever said where I work on here. I'm not going to.
Yeah. I mean,
I love it. Like I'm not. This is not a complaint from me. Like it's just one of those things. It's like, you playing the system, I'm gonna play the system. Like I ain't working 48 hours.
That overtime for a company does suck. Time and a half.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm not working 8 more hours normal time when I should be getting time and a half. Like it just ain't gonna happen.
And then the way like an employer, or I don't know if this is true. This is what Renee's papa always told me. If you're $30 an hour is what you are, you in theory cost me $60 an hour as a business owner because I have to pay all these taxes for you.
I think the way ours is because when I make whatever I make, they are billing me for almost twice of what I make. So, but a portion of that is they have to cover the overhead to have you as an employee. They're paying, and that includes whatever your benefits are. Just the fact that I'm using electricity and supplies and all that stuff. It obviously they have to charge more for you to the consumer than what they're paying you or whatever, but it's a big difference. Like, man, if I was bringing home what they're charging somebody for me, I'd be doing this for myself.
Well, that's like Seth. I
Yeah.
know it was like that because they're a contract through 3M,
Right.
and what they bill for him is nowhere near what he gets paid.
Oh yeah.
But see, when we found this out, we had to go to the accountant. So your unemployment, like what do they call it? Something tax, payroll tax.
Yeah, your payroll tax.
So
cost me extra 15%.
whatever the government takes out of your check, the employer has to match that too.
Yeah, right. I wonder if people care about our conversation.
I know, right? People's like, oh, yeah,
They're probably like, I'm talking about taxes.
Yeah, but I might have to cut some of this out to get back.
In case you ever
It's
want to be a
interesting,
business
man.
owner
Yeah,
one day,
don't.
you need
Yeah,
to know
don't.
these things because it's not
not-
all sunshine and rainbows. It's
gosh.
lots of money.
Yeah.
Lots
So I
of
think
money.
Okay,
Headache.
one more video game thing before we go on. So
It is a headache.
I also got on Switch and I saw a long time ago too. Do you remember Scott Pilgrim versus the World? That
Yeah.
movie, whatever. Well,
Horrible movie.
started.
Yeah, it is another horrible
Well,
movie.
it's not horrible. I'm not going to say it's the greatest movie in the
It's
world, but
horrible.
okay,
It's
here
not a good
again,
movie.
folks. Let
It's
me know
not
what
a
you
good
think about
movie.
Scott Pilgrim. There are undertones in that movie that I didn't agree with, or they pushed real big. But as a whole, I like the movie. Anyways,
That and the Clockwork Orange.
so it's that's a weird one. Now, that is an odd one. I have watched
I
that
couldn't
one.
make it
Man,
through that
that's-
movie.
That movie, jeez, that
Yeah.
movie's rough.
You
Like,
know,
some of the stuff
Stanley-
those people do in that movie to those
Oh, yeah.
innocent people.
Yeah.
that's
Stanley
rough.
Kubrick ended up not wanting it ever shown.
I can understand
Like
that.
he didn't want it in theater.
I don't know that I'd want my name attached to that. And the
Well,
guy,
I don't
what's the
know why
guy?
they didn't read the script and be like, I'm
So
not
he's
doing
raping
this.
He
that
wrote
woman.
the movie.
Oh my
I think.
gosh,
I
man,
think
that-
Stanley Kubrick.
For
wrote
that
it.
to come
Yeah,
out of
they're
his
rapists.
mind,
Yeah.
oh my god, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That
Because
yeah.
they're what, in courtside in
the
Space
Space
Jam?
Jam movie.
Yeah.
But
The
they
people from
took
Clockwork
Pepe Le Pew
Orange.
out.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I don't know if they've went through and took them out
Man.
since people have pointed out. Because they took Pepe Le Pew out.
Did they really?
They
That's
took
so stupid.
they took him out due to his being. They call him a rapist.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I don't think he ever. Okay, whatever.
he's just
Well,
your
they also
typical
call
stereotypical Frenchman.
Prince
Well, he's his
Charming. No, wait, who
he's
is
his
it that kisses
stereotypical
Snow
player.
White? Snow
yeah,
White,
right.
that-
You can't-
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. He
They took-
kissed her against her will.
Yeah,
That's
that's
racist.
consensual.
So
So that's
stupid.
right. But they took Pepe Le Pew completely out of Space Jam.
The
Yeah.
original Space Jam.
No, the new Space
he
Jam.
was
they
going to
would-
be in the new.
yeah.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
going to be
So
in it.
Stupid.
They took him out, but Clockwork Orange guys
Are still in the
courtside.
new one?
Well, I don't know. So they showed a preview for it here like a month ago, and they were spotted in the courtside.
Why?
And
Why
then
would they be in it originally to begin with?
it's probably Warner Brothers' way of like, I don't know why they put those guys in there to be honest, but they might edit that out now that so many people have
Yeah.
put
talk
on there
about
like
it.
you're taking Pepe Le Pew out, but you got these four legit
Honestly,
rapists
Yes.
in a movie,
Jeez.
and on top of that, a kids movie.
Yeah.
Then
A
none of
kids
these
movie.
kids even know who they are.
Yeah, find out who thought that was a good idea to begin with. That's the pervert we need to be stringing up.
Exactly,
So like, oh, I'm gonna put that in
yeah,
this kids
yeah.
movie.
I'll tell you
Oh
that
my
new, I don't
gosh.
have much.
I wouldn't
faith
watch
in
it.
this
I've never
Space
seen
Jam.
the original.
Oh, whoa!
I wouldn't mind going back and seeing it,
Whoa.
but because I like Michael Jordan. But
The original Space Jam's
yeah,
good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
We've probably watched it once a year for the last couple
Really?
of years.
Is it that
Wow,
good?
yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I
not
feel
one
like I
that
should, yeah.
I'd watch really more
Right.
than once
Look,
a year.
Yeah.
Michael
but
Jordan
once a year's okay.
Ain't a bad actor.
Yeah, well,
No, he's really not.
Yeah. He's
No.
had enough camera stuck
He
in his
might
face.
be a better actor than he is baseball player.
Hey.
He played for our dear
I
Birmingham
know,
Barons.
I know.
Yeah, but if
He
you
made
say
them
that was
more
it-
money than
I
they
was-
probably
exactly.
ever made in their
If you were going to say that's
existence.
It
anything
didn't
but a
make me no money
publicity
though,
stunt.
so I can say whatever.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's weird is I think he started out like really good.
in college or whatever, maybe?
No, like playing for the Barons.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
he was like on like a huge hit streak and was doing, and then he just like
Yeah.
couldn't hit the ball no more.
Yeah.
And I don't remember enough about his plan to know if he was actually a good fielder.
Yeah. Baseball's one of those, basketball, you're always on. Like,
Yeah.
I'm always running the court. I'm always shooting. Baseball, you get a few minutes to shine every so often. Like, you only get to bat so often, like, you can be off in that. You get in your head, and just be swinging at nothing, like it's basketball, like they're constantly doing it, so it seems like it's you stay more attuned to your shots and stuff like that. You can get your head in baseball to where it's like I'm thinking about this too much. There's too much. There's too much technique informing what I'm doing, and I'm in my head.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I did that last year. I played baseball. I was on a great hitting streak.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Did y'all win the 7-under tournament or?
This was in
It'd be 8 and under.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Even number.
I don't
It's
know
even numbers.
is that machine pitch still?
I don't know how old it was when I quit playing baseball,
Yeah.
but it was where you could steal bases.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it had to be like.
I read a seeing stealing bases. Ricky Henderson, I think, still the leader of all time stolen bases. Played for the Oakland Athletics. I read an article and he was talking. It was some other older baseball player than him, and he was talking about Ricky Henderson. He's like, yeah, Ricky'd always talk in third person. He'd be like, Ricky's got to go. He's like, Ricky, see you later. And then when he would take off from first, going to second or whatever.
Nerd.
Yeah, it's
that's-
funny.
that's
though.
funny.
That's pretty fun for this guy to remember
funny.
that or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's what he was known for. Ricky Henderson was the stolen base king. Like his sucker was fast.
Yeah.
He was on the team. I mean, that was back when the Oakland A's had Jose and Mark McGuire and Ricky Henderson. Like, I mean, that was during their golden years, whatever.
That was about one of the only things that I was good at.
Stealing bases?
Stealing
Yeah.
bases.
I can remember when we went from slow pitch to fast pitch.
Yeah.
And
Big
we all
time,
had to
John.
learn about stealing bases. We were just like,
I was
"Ooh,
normally
Lord."
leadoff batter.
Yeah.
Me
Pretty much
too.
every team that I played
Yeah.
for. Because I think you want your fast guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
because you're going to put somebody behind him. You need that guy running
Yep.
the bases. Yeah.
And I was
What's the big hitter? Is that third or fourth?
fourth.
Fourth.
Cleanup.
Well,
Yeah.
third and fourth.
Yeah.
Because you might knock everybody.
There was
in
no
at
way
fourth.
I was
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Fourth is they hope that all three of them have got
Yeah,
on
right,
base.
right. Yeah.
But if not, your third, you hope
Yeah.
smack it at least the first
Yeah.
two
I
around.
couldn't ever hit a ball very far, but
Just get on base, man.
I could hit
Yeah.
it to the
Yeah.
pitcher
Yeah.
and beat him out.
That's nearly just as important.
Yeah,
So-
your
Long
on,
you leg into
on
the
base
base.
percentage
Yep.
is very important.
Yeah.
I was.
Or if you knock somebody else that's on base, them RBIs.
Yep.
I don't think I ever, in my history of playing baseball, ever hit a home run. Like
Yeah.
over the. I mean, I hit a
Right.
lot of inside the park homers,
Yeah.
but I never hit a over the fence home run.
We need
And
to
I
get
was
a
trying-
co-ed team
Oh,
together.
man. We played fall ball with my
Total
wife
nostalgia.
when-
We
when
can
you-
sponsor a team.
They used to have a league over at Veterans Memorial during the
They-
fall.
they
Well, I know
have
at
one over
Wilson
here.
Morgan they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, they take it serious over there.
They
though.
do. I played
This
with
was
one.
like church league mixed in with just people
Yeah,
that
that's
just
what
got
I
Oh,
want.
yeah,
along.
yeah.
We
Some
were
guy
just having
pulling up with a
fun.
cooler, drinking a couple six packs.
So when I played the year we
I
played,
might join
the
him.
year I played or whatever, we needed more people to fill out our team, and this roofing crew showed up. They were serious about it. And so I get up there, I'm just doing what I can do. Like don't hit the ball to me, God. I do not want to try to catch a pop fly and drop it here in front of everybody. Like,
I know, especially being a grown adult. And you're
yeah,
like, I
exactly.
can't catch a ball as an
exactly.
adult.
But I get up there one day and I knock the crap out of it and got a home run. And I'm excited about it. Like, I ain't never hit a home run in my life.
Like
I
over
knock
the
that sucker, put
fence?
it out. Yeah. I get back to the dugout and them roofers are in there. It's like, well, we got to keep it in the fence now because you can only get
Yeah,
one home
one,
run.
then you're out.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
home run per inning, and you're
Yeah.
out. They were like, well, we want to load the bases and then hit a home run because some of these guys could do it on call. It's like, oh, yeah, we're
Yes.
knocking this one out. I get
Yes.
up there and just swinging for whatever I could get and knock it out. And they're like, well, now we got to keep them in the park, guys. I was like, what the crap? Anyway.
They just crapped all over your
Yeah.
parade.
Well, people
Who
that were
is it
there
that
with me
sings
were
that?
it
were
would
happy
be
for
fun
me.
to get a total nostalgia
It
Oh,
would
yeah.
be fun.
softball
Or
team.
do like
going.
multiple teams playing each other. 'cause-
Yeah, it would be fun.
It would be.
Who is it that sings that church league softball game? Or
Ray
song?
Stevens, don't know.
No.
Oh, really? Well, he should though. That'd be a
Yeah.
good.
He's great.
I
That's
love
a
Ray
big good one.
Stevens.
But it was
Crap,
too
who is
late.
it? You have to look it up because I can't look at
While you're
the
looking
show.
that up, I'll finish what I was talking about. Way back
Maybe.
to the Switch or whatever, that Scott Pilgrim. So that started out as a comic book, and eventually they made the movie, and maybe the game came before the movie. I don't remember. They made a game, and it's all the stuff you see in the movie or whatever's in the game, like all the fake bands and that kind of crap. All the her 7 evil X's are all in the game.
Yeah.
You're fighting them, and so it plays like it's basically
PS3.
Tim
that may have been the
Wilson.
Facebook.
Yeah, yeah.
Tim Wilson.
That
is
Yeah,
guy's
yeah.
funny
I've
too.
got a whole Tim Wilson album. You ever heard
I
the
love
one
all
about
his
Chuck E.
songs.
Cheese?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
It's, man, he does have some good
Church
stuff.
league softball.
Oh,
think he-
I've got that
didn't
whole
he
album.
die?
He would have been on up there for sure. He used to be on Rick and
Yeah,
Bubba all the time.
He died
Really?
A couple of years ago, wasn't
I
in
did not know that.
2014. He was only
Man.
52.
Oh crap! Yeah, I bought that
Probably
album.
heart
It's like
attack.
his solid aluminum hits or something like that.
Died of a heart attack.
Man, they used to have him, and they had to watch. Like he was one of those that they don't cuss on their show or nothing. They had to watch. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
buddy, let's
It's
keep
like
it
getting
clean.
baptized in the bar.
Yeah, he had some good stuff. I
Yeah.
remember the one he was talking about Chuck E. Cheese or whatever.
I
Have
renting out the bar
the
for
pizza tastes like puke and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. And there was one
That
about
stuff's
racing or
good.
NASCAR racing or something, I think.
Oh yeah, they named me Daryl.
Yeah,
Daryl
that's what it was.
Walter
Yeah, he
Richards,
was
Teddy
born-
Rusty,
he was
Olsen
born-
Bill, Irvin Gordon,
That's what
Earnhardt
it
Smith, Johnson Jr.
Junior. Yeah, Johnson Junior.
Yeah, he's
Same
got
old
some
NASCAR.
good comedy
Oh, those
songs.
are some good ones. Yeah, I bought that whole album, whatever his greatest hits were.
I know what we're gonna be listening to on the way to the
man,
beach
it's good.
now.
Yeah, it's good.
52.
Yeah.
Dang.
I bought that Scott Pilgrim game, and I played it a little bit this morning. And I like the idea of it and everything. Like, you're building up his stats, and he unlocks more moves and stuff as you're playing or whatever. But golly, the movement, he walks so slow. To get him to run, you have to, like, double tap the stick. Like, I'm more of a Mario, like, hold the button down and he runs faster or whatever. Give me a button dedicated to that. This, you always have to double tap, and it just feels like he's moving in molasses when you're not. And it's like, man, every time I'm having to double tap this stick, and he does not move smoothly, and maybe you'll get used to it. I don't know. Michael Cera was who
That's
it was.
probably how
in,
he moves in real
could
life
have
anyway.
been.
So they're
Could
probably
have
like,
been, yeah.
we'll make it.
I beat the first boss. I beat the first one of her evil exes, and I think I died or something. And I didn't. Start
That's on
over.
the Switch.
It is downloadable on the Switch. They did a limited run. Matter of fact, I think the name of the company is Limited Run. They'll do like short batch runs of Switch games to make actual physical carts of it.
Yeah.
It's like a $70 game or something, so I just bought it digitally. It's $15 for the
Oh,
game, and
that ain't
it comes with all of the DLC or whatever that ever came with it. I just bought it for $15. That's one of those games I don't necessarily. I would like to have it on cartridge or whatever because I want them all on cartridge if I could get it. It's also real convenient just popping it open on the menu and hitting play instead of having to load up a disc. Somebody just died out
Drop
front.
something.
Yeah.
I
Sound like they're stacking
In
chairs.
fact, I
when I'm
did go there
asleep.
and get it because I left it. Somebody here, I don't know, like a week ago, brought in that Mortal Kombat collection.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For Switch. Yeah.
But it's so dumb because it's a download only.
Oh, man.
And
Yeah,
they
it's
took
literally
the
just
time.
a code in a case. It's
A
a
code
case
in the
and
case.
a code.
So stupid.
But I got to thinking, I was like, I'm just going to take that home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Check it. Make sure the code does work.
Well, if you make sure it works,
Don't
it's
ever get
yours.
rid of
That's
So,
mine.
that's
I
like-
know, right?
And I think it's like Mortal Kombat 11, but then you
Yeah.
get the two DLCs that came out for Mortal Kombat 11.
Okay.
So you get like the
RoboCop,
RoboCop,
Terminator.
I can't remember who else. It looks. I
Yeah.
hadn't played a Mortal Kombat game. In,
Yeah.
God,
You
I
know,
don't how
eventually,
long, but
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say the little cinematic story mode looked cool, so I was like, I'll play it for the story mode. I bet it's got a good story.
Was it in? I think it was Injustice that they eventually released the Ninja Turtles. Isn't that right?
I think so.
I
Yeah,
think
it's a
it was.
DLC.
It's
Yeah.
pretty neat. Yeah, you get all four. I think they're basically the same character, just holding different weapons. It looked like it was almost like a skin for one
I
character.
never played
you
the
know?
second one, but I played the first one.
I've got them both because
And
I
the-
just like DC or whatever. But
That's a good story.
it was pretty neat. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I've read the first. What is it? I've read years 1 through 5 or so in the comic books. Really good story.
That's
really good story.
One of their next DC's animated
Oh,
movies.
they should. That
They've
story,
already announced it.
You don't have to change a thing. Just
Yeah.
animate what was in those comic books. It's awesome.
So
it's
I
really
don't
good.
know if
You
it's
gotta
going
hope
to
that they
follow
will.
Yeah.
follow the video game story mode or if it's going to follow the comic. I don't know.
Well,
They didn't say.
I think the comics basically mirrored the video games, but the comics ended up going further. Like
I know
they
the
continued
first
the story
the
well
first,
on past.
The first one they put out because it's just like a one shot.
Yeah.
Injustice was basically the video game.
Yeah.
And then they did an Injustice 2 comic,
Yeah.
which I think was basically the story of the video game.
Probably so.
But then they did those year 1, year 2.
It's good. It's a really good story.
I probably got them all.
Like
I
it
think.
turns out, like I mean, it's not spoilers because it happens
Oh,
like right in the
thanks.
beginning or whatever. But Joker tricks, Joker gasses Superman, or somehow he fools Superman into he sees Lois as something else, and I don't remember if he sees her as Joker or whatever. Anyhow, he ends up flying Lois into the atmosphere or something like that. She dies. Turns out she was pregnant during the time. He comes back to Earth, and whatever the effects wore off. So now he knows he's just killed Lois and his unborn child. He goes to the jail at Arkham, I guess, where they've got Joker. Punches him right through the chest, like just through the heart. Like you see
What
his
was
bloody
that?
fist coming out the other side of Joker's back.
So we
It's
watched
pretty
that
cool.
animated movie that it starts off with that. I don't know. Batman's there to keep him from killing Joker.
I don't know.
Superman's.
Have they animated something like that before? I don't know.
They've
There's
never done
something
anything
animated
with
that we
Injustice
watched.
because
No, I didn't say Injustice.
Oh,
I said in
sorry.
general.
Yeah. Oh,
You know, it
hit a nerve.
shows Joker's in jail or the insane asylum, and Superman comes in there and is beating the crap out of him. Batman has to come in to keep him from killing him.
That was an animated movie. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I don't remember that either.
Well,
Of course, I hadn't
Animated
seen the
stuff we
last few
watched.
animated movies that they made.
Watched
I-
every one, but I
yeah.
just can't.
Because Batman's like there to keep him from
Huh.
killing him, and I think he ends up. I can't remember if he kills him.
I don't
If he
remember.
doesn't
That Long
kill him.
Halloween comes out soon.
It's right at the beginning of June, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not too far off,
not
and it's
far.
a first half, like where it's going to be a two-parter.
Which
You
I think
gotta-
the next part comes out not too long after.
I
Like
hope
maybe
so.
like the fall or something.
I hope so, man. That wait between, and I even knew what was going to happen, but the wait between Dark Knight Part 1 and Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2, that sucked.
Well,
I
luckily-
like part 1 and 2.
Oh, they're so. I do. I like having them at once. I
but
love
I
the
can't
fact that
wait though
Right.
to watch them at once. I gotta watch first one.
Me too.
Well,
But I
luckily I
love the fact that we're getting like
It's like all
3 and
freaking
4
Marvel
hour
movies.
really good
Ugh.
Batman movies.
Yeah.
you
So
know.
I didn't watch that till they both were out.
And that's
so
a good idea. If
it
you,
was-
and you know what? My track record with DC movies, I probably won't either because I get them and I don't watch them. I've still got Batman. What is the Shadow of the Dragon or whatever it's called? I got that.
Yeah, that one's not very good.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the last two have not been that good.
I got that Justice Society. I haven't watched it yet.
because they've been like some of the
Yeah.
Elseworld ones are good.
Red
some-
Sun's good. You
Yeah.
watched it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Red
watched it
Son's
just
good.
recently.
Yeah,
I
that's a
liked
good one.
it.
Yeah.
Batman in his little Russian hat.
And Gotham by Gaslight was pretty good. That
Gotham
was
by
an
Gaslight
Elseworld.
was
that was
okay.
So they've got some good Elseworld
There
stuff.
are a few,
Yeah.
but these last two they've came out with. they're
Thrill,
just not
Thrill
that good.
Killer is, which I think may have been the first Elseworld story. I might be wrong, but it's pretty good. But it starts out like Bruce Wayne's not Batman; it's just Robin and Batgirl. Like Batgirl, for whatever reason, has like Jim Gordon's wife's family or whatever has money, and I think they're divorced. Jim and her are divorced or something. Somehow Barbara ends up with all the money, so she's basically Bruce Wayne in this. I don't think her mom's dead, but she's not there, and Barbara's living in this giant mansion or whatever, and she's basically funding her and Robin to go out crime fighting. or whatever. And then by the end of that, I think Batman exists by the end of the first. They made a Thrill Killer and a Thrill Killer 2, I think,
don't
like
know
a
if
second
I've seen that
storyline.
one.
You got the
don't think we
comics, I'm
have.
pretty sure. Well, I may have bought them from you.
Might
No,
have
it's
to
not.
find
It's not an animated movie. This is
it's
comic
about-
books.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
I
it's
was
animated.
thinking,
I've
I'm
seen
like,
that.
No,
I ain't
But
seen
I'm
this.
saying that it could be a good animated. It
Yeah.
could be a good animated story.
I was gonna say,
other
might
than
as
the,
well.
other than the fact that you've got the first movie doesn't have no Batman in it really. Bruce Wayne's there, but he ain't Batman, and he kind of is second to the party. Like he becomes Batman after Batgirl and Robin or whatever. So I mean,
Well,
it's just a
that,
different take, but it's all right.
Justice Society World War.
Yeah.
The latest one.
Yeah.
It's just not.
I
good.
hope I enjoyed it more than you did. 'Cause I really enjoyed that New Frontier Justice League movie,
See, I
which
like
kind
that one.
of yeah. Okay, well maybe I won't.
I just didn't like this one. I don't
Of course,
know
you
what
also
it,
said MacGruber's not good, so I'm not taking your word on it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, well.
we
Probably be
we
the greatest
align
movie
more
ever made
though
by
on
you do. Yeah.
on these.
Yeah,
You're
animated.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I can't
You know,
understand
all
why
the
we're so
animateds
far.
can't be a
Well,
hit.
look,
I can't
I
understand
think
why we're
it's
so
just
far
'cause-
apart on MacGruber.
I think it's because comedy's one of those that like
Real subjective.
everybody has their own
Yeah.
style that
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
like.
that's true.
Where like an adventure movie has enough cross over into people's different ways of
Right.
thinking that you can align more with
Find
it.
more common ground there.
Yeah, comedies. I mean, like, because there's so many styles of comedy.
There he is.
It's just like comedians, like there'll be a comedian. Like, I love Joe Rogan on Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah.
I hate Joe Rogan comedy.
Orange.
That's not that
Yeah.
funny.
He's not funny, but
You
he's
Bet they watch
hilarious.
Seinfeld.
Yeah, Seinfeld's hilarious
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Seinfeld.
Yeah.
But his stand-up
Comedy,
is
I can't
god.
stand it. I
Mm.
don't like it at all.
What do you think about Norm Macdonald?
See,
He used to do Weekend Update on Saturday
Yeah.
Night Live.
I like that, but
I don't really care for
haven't really seen
Norm
him in too
Macdonald.
much.
I need to show
Other
you
stuff.
some. I always thought he was one of the funniest people alive, but he tells this story, and it's not one that I'm going to tell on here, or whatever. But remind me because I need to show it to you. He tells this joke that takes like 5 or 6 minutes to get through the story, just for the punchline at the very end or whatever. And the first time I heard it, it killed me. Like, and I told my wife about it. I told her the same 5 or 6 minute story to get to that punchline, and she was like, "What? Why is that funny?" But anyways, just remind me, it's Norm Macdonald. It's hilarious.
Oh,
Another one's got a good story of that Bert Kirshner,
I don't know him.
the machine
oh
story.
yeah, the machine. The guy that always takes his shirt off.
His is kind of like that. He's
Kinda
got
like a
this.
Fat guy.
I don't know.
He tells this whole story about being the machine, and then the punchline, the main part of the joke hits you kind of at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's
it's so long.
That is
Like,
one of-
gosh, it's so long.
like he's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But that's one of the best. Like, I mean, you might not like it, but
Yeah.
one of the best like comedy skits.
Yeah.
Like that. What do they call it?
Routine.
Routine, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
Write that down too. Remind me of that because I've never heard of that guy.
And he does
so.
every one of his comedy shows with his shirt off. And he's not pleasing to the
Yeah,
eye.
he's
He's
not
not
really-
like
No.
obese to where you're like,
Right.
oh my god.
but yeah.
Because what was it? He said like his wife. He took his shirt off or something, standing in the mirror, and his wife walked past and was like, Ugh. So I'm like,
He's a part of the Joe Rogan clique, though.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you something that's funny. You remember, y'all seen the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie?
Yeah.
Okay, before he gets up on stage to do his set, there's that guy, and he probably is a real comic. I don't know who he is, but he's talking about how men and women are different when they're looking for a mate or whatever. And he's talking about men look at it like it's like parking a car, and he's like, oh, that's a good spot. You got to pay? Nah, never mind. And then there's one. He's like, oh, it's handicapped. Is anybody looking? And he was comparing parking his car to finding a mate or whatever. I was like, that's pretty funny. He's like, that makes sense. With the comparisons he made there, it's like that makes sense. Like, oh, she's handicapped. Like, anybody gonna see this?
I don't remember that.
Yeah. It's right before Arthur gets up on stage and bombs his little set or whatever. Or in his head, I guess he kills it. But yeah, it's the guy that's on stage before he gets up there.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. And I'm sure the way this guy rolled that story out, I'm like, that's probably a real comic.
Oh,
You know,
Probably.
I'm sure
it probably was.
It has to be.
Yeah. So I think that wraps up the video games. Boy, we went around the world.
40
covering some of
minutes.
it. Yeah.
I was gonna tell you
Oh my
too
gosh,
that
40
I
minutes.
had new suggestions on a place to get the pho
Oh,
bowls.
for food.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, whatever.
Pho.
Yeah, where
Pho?
are they saying?
Oh, I have to go back on my post.
Okay, well, remember it because we
Oh,
need to.
somebody
Where
said-
did we eat at?
I don't remember
Was it
what the
Viet
name of the
Hong?
place.
Viet Cong?
Was it Viet Hong?
Was it on Jordan Lane?
It was on
Wasn't it?
Jordan Lane, yeah.
I
Well, so
don't-
there's like 3 different places, but there's one of them that makes it like with all the stuff in
I
it,
saw
don't look
the
like
picture
soup.
you sent out to
Yeah,
people saying, yeah,
So
that's
there's
what we
a
want.
place that looks like that.
Okay.
So
Well,
we
don't
all need to
forget
go there
where it's
one
at
day.
because we
Whenever
need to
we
go.
go time,
I'm
we'll
beginning to
take our little
wonder
sticks since we got all of our stuff
If
in.
we didn't get mistakenly go, like,
You think maybe we ate a different ethnic food?
well, I mean, the picture that y'all probably saw somebody locally,
Yeah.
it might have been that place.
It
and
could've been,
somehow
yeah.
we type in Vietnamese food, and we end up
No,
at
this
the place.
place does the bowls because some people suggested the place that we ate at, but they said that it's not that. That's a more traditional one, is what I had.
So
Yeah, I about said
drink,
way,
they
but
drink bathwater over
yeah.
there.
So what I had was more traditional, but the other ones is like a fancy type version with.
I
more
think
stuff
that's
all in
probably
it.
what it is. We probably want the Americanized version,
Yeah.
you know, where it's like Chinese food probably ain't like that in China. You know what we eat?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it
It's
is.
not.
No.
I bet there's no General Tso's chicken.
Oh, man,
No.
I love General
Well,
Tso's
also too
chicken.
the way we eat like
Yeah.
taco
And
and
honey
stuff. They don't
chicken?
eat like
Yeah,
that.
honey. Yeah. So the molten hibachi, order their General Tso's chicken. Get it with white rice instead of the fried rice. Get an order of their fried cheese wontons and an egg roll. Oh my gosh! If I could get if it wasn't so late, I'd get it tonight and eat it. But they'll be closed by the time we can get out of here. All right, so we're gonna move on to the main topic. Who wants to go first? Who's most prepared? I don't think mine will take that long because I mean,
Phillips is gonna take the longest probably.
yeah, 'cause
I
he
don't
got
have
down
that
into the-
many.
More
I have
detailed?
a director.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't even do the
Okay,
whole cast.
Okay, Mr.
Well, do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
Yeah, go first,
Let's
Mr.
go first.
DeMille.
You wanna go?
Well, I mean, you
Okay,
gotta say,
Whichever
so
one.
what we're
Save
gonna
the
do
best for
this
last.
time
Okay, I'll
is
go last.
take shows. I guess shows from like the 80s,
Just,
90s.
we kind of left it loose. Just
Yeah.
something from our days gone past.
Yeah, stuff we'd like to see made into live action that hasn't yet been made into live action.
Yeah. And it could be in the plans to be made into live action.
Yeah, you never know.
Who knows?
Oh, yours is. I
Probably
know.
is. Who cares? But mine's probably gonna be better. Who's going?
I guess. I mean, I guess I.
I
can
mean,
go.
I can
Roll
go
into
first.
it.
I don't care.
Oh, my
Let me
goodness
pull up
gracious,
my
yeah.
notes.
So before we get started, since it ties in with
Yep.
this week's keyword,
Nope.
it's Brave Star.
Marshall, Brave Star.
No, the keyword's just Brave Star.
Yeah,
But
Brave Star.
because the show is called Brave Star, the
Star.
character's named Marshall Brave Star.
Yeah.
That's who Philip chose
Yeah.
to cast his movie.
If you don't say the whole thing,
Well, you'll probably say in the code
that?
word to Renee, so
That was
she'll
the
accept. She'll
microphone.
accept Brave Star. If Philip's
I
there, you
don't know.
might have
Renee's
to say
been
Marshall
hiding out. I
Brave.
ain't been wanting to
Really?
check out, running the checkout counter here
Behind?
lately. I've been having to do all that.
No, he's just sitting over there jacking his jaws. Well, I clean video games all day.
Oh,
I
my
haven't hardly
Philip.
jacked my jaws at all today.
Philip.
Shoot.
Hey, you have to have that guy.
You gotta have the Gabby guy.
You
Yeah.
do.
He makes the
And
the
hopefully in the
connection.
next 2 or 3 weeks, we'll have a big announcement to make,
Yeah.
too.
Huge.
Yeah,
So-
huge. Keep it down home, cuz, for now, though.
Yeah.
Don't let that out.
Huge
Nope.
announcement.
Don't let that out.
So don't ask.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
you can't tell you. And if we did tell you, you'd have to get killed.
Yup.
I don't think it'd be worth that.
I'd throw you out in the woods.
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
you got
so
Woods.
obviously I chose Brave Star.
Brave Star. What was
Yeah.
it? Recap the title song. What are his powers? He has the eyes of a hawk,
Eyes of the hawk.
speed of a puma. Is that
Speed
right?
of the puma. Strength of the bear.
Yeah.
Ears of the wolf.
Okay.
I think that's it.
He's Native American descent in the show, right?
Yeah, he's
And
definitely.
we did
Native
find
American.
out, so we have been watching the show,
Yeah.
and the movie definitely came first.
It's like the pilot
Because
setting
yeah,
everything
because
up.
the movie tells you
Cool.
like all the stuff. The show just like goes
Oh,
right
right
into it.
into
You
it.
got,
into
you
it.
got
I like that.
no
though.
clue.
Give me all that junk up
Oh,
front,
yeah,
and then let's
yeah.
just roll into what
And
happens.
it's really good. The movie's actually really good for it to
Cool.
be 80s.
Yeah.
I liked it.
It
It's
is. It's
got a
very good.
story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
Uh,
It actually makes sense.
A lot of these shows, the pilots are, because the pilot is somebody's creation. Like that's what I envision for this
Yep.
show, the pilot. That gets all the characters out there, the backstory that this guy may have been thinking about for 15 years.
Yep.
This is finally bringing that to fruition. When they get into a daily syndicated show or whatever, it's like
It gets a little crazy.
We gotta fill 20 minutes every day.
Well,
and
you
then
know,
all that,
they
for
get
120 episodes or
Yes.
whatever.
all the
With
big
the same
wigs.
people.
Right.
The same characters.
So
They
you
have-
got to go. You probably got to go further with those stories than the guy ever thought of
Yeah.
originally to begin with.
It's like props to the Scooby Doo people. Because good
Yeah,
grief.
right. And
Well,
keep it good. Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel
right.
like if the creators stayed, like, did what they wanted to do the whole time, it would be probably much better.
It probably would.
But you get some executive who's like,
But-
and they
and
change up everything, and
it's
they don't
also-
even know anything's going on.
Could be. It's also, there's a chance the well's going to run dry. I had this great idea, and we shot that out for a movie. Whatever's like, I don't know if I can continue this.
Oh,
for-
I mean,
for-
It's like,
that's
you know?
I can give you like one season.
That's what I
of,
mean,
like,
right?
8
And then
episodes.
I'm done. Yeah,
That's
and now I'm
Yeah,
under the
it's
gun
like, give
because it's not
somebody
like I'm
else.
sitting around just coming up with this. It's like I gotta have it, and I gotta
Yep.
have it next week. So
Yep.
okay, so there's a mirror, right? And it
Yeah.
steals
It's like,
your soul.
I gave you all
or
my
something,
best
who
stuff,
knows?
so I don't know what
That's
to
what
do
I
now.
mean.
Now you
That's
get
what I mean.
garbage.
So if you look back, like I remember and they're usually a little different. Like the pilot episodes for Transformers, like the Autobots could fly in that episode. Like they never did it
Never
after
flew
when the
again.
right when the show
It says
starts, they
when it's
never
turned
fly.
to jets.
Exactly right, exactly. The bad guys could fly, the
Yeah.
good guys were on call, and until they started. They did introduce some characters that could fly, but they couldn't just like Optimus Prime couldn't just take off flying. He had to have a
Like
jetpack.
Superman.
Right, that's what they did in the movie. I mean, in the pilot show. G.I. Joe, there was a lot of differences in the G.I. Joe pilots or whatever. Thundercats, like even the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had like a 4, 5, 6 episode little pilot mini season or whatever. They even look completely different. Like all the animation and stuff that you see in the opening credits to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle show is more of the style that they did in that little opening. So like if you'll notice, the arts for the Ninja Turtles it was real simplistic by the time they got rolling into the show. The animation and everything in those first 5 or 6 episodes is much higher quality, like more detailed characters and stuff. Because like this is what they wanted to put out. Like, hey, y'all want to make a show out of this? Y'all want to make this thing go on? So it was their
Yeah.
best of their best.
Well, and it's harder to keep that.
It is.
It's more work.
Right,
It
you can't
is,
afford to
it
do it for
is,
yeah.
no.
So
you've
you
got all the
gotta
time
cut
you
it
want in the
down.
world to make that pilot.
And you got to turn
now
out
we're making
something once a week too,
That's what I
so you got to
mean.
be able to
right.
draw it.
And it's probably inevitable before the well does run dry.
It
Oh,
I
will.
mean,
yeah.
well, you
Oh, yeah.
obviously see that with anything. You can tell a show when it's running out of ideas.
I would love
and
to
they're
see
just
somebody
throwing
Like
anything.
Game of Thrones.
or Simpsons. I mean, golly, look how the Simpsons going on what 30 seasons or something like that.
Somehow they've managed to make it.
But
work.
I would
It don't
love-
That's
feel
because they
bad.
also they're like South Park and they talk about stuff that's
I'm
What
thinking
happened?
more
Current
like
events or whatever, maybe.
Supernatural. I love Supernatural.
It was 15 seasons, wasn't
But
it? Is that right?
It got to the point to where
it was
every
like the same thing. but
basically every episode was
things.
going to follow the same format.
Yep.
Throw in different monster,
Right.
but basically it's got so repetitive.
where they were like,
feeling.
no monsters this time. We're gonna go with
Right.
storyline.
And Walking Dead to me got like that. It basically like
watching that.
what I was talking about with the guy in the store today. Like season 1 through 4 is one of the greatest shows ever.
Mhm.
That's really
But
good.
then after that, it just kind of just went so downhill, and it got super repetitive.
And then
Yeah.
they started killing off everybody.
Yeah,
Well,
he did
that's
that in the
you
You
know,
like
comics.
they-
flip
he
to an
did that from the
episode and you're
comics.
like-
yeah,
I've never read the comics, but
I've read the.
Hancock said it's really good.
It is really good.
and it's nothing like the show.
There's
should've followed the
it
comics.
weaves in and out. There's
Mhm.
some similarities in characters and stuff like that. But yeah, there's characters that don't even like that.
Daryl
Norman
ain't in the
Written, he's
comics.
not even in the comics. Yeah.
I don't know. Well,
The comics
they
are
never wrote him
good.
in.
The comics are good. I've read most, if not all, of the first compendium. It's pretty good.
But the show just got repetitive.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna have to deal with some zombies. A group of people are gonna come
How's that
in.
go? It starts out is the second
Mini
season at the
factions.
farmhouse. Is that right?
The
And-
third season, they start at the farmhouse and
Where's
end up
the
in the
prison?
jail. Third
okay,
season.
that's where I stopped. I
Yeah.
got up to where they were in the prison. His wife dies or whatever,
Mhm.
and I think that's about as far as I made.
Yeah. And then I think once they leave the prison is when they go to, was it Westbury?
Is that the town that's got the governor or whatever?
Yeah.
And
No,
he's
the governor, Westbury's the governor. Yeah. The prison.
I
the
love
gov-
it. I love it
It's been
because
so
you
long.
can hear the nerds screaming through
I
the
know.
internet
Well,
right
it's been
now.
a long time since I
Me
watched
too. Yeah.
Uh,
Not
I-
claiming to be Walking Dead expert.
I'm not a Walking
I
Dead
know.
expert, but I'm
It's
pretty.
been so long.
Because I mean, basically, we're talking about who we're going to put in a Brave Star movie.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about
Never
Walking
talking
Dead.
about Walking Dead. But anyways, the jail, all that was when the governor, because the jail ended. The climatic end was them fighting the governor's people
Yeah.
outside the jail,
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
And
that's
then
right. That was
Michonne
concurrent. That's
cutting
right.
the governor's head off.
Okay, I never made that far, but I do remember them attacking
Spoilers.
the fences.
And then
So,
I can't remember why
I
they
had,
left.
I had every opportunity to see it.
I can't remember why they left the jail. I don't
Didn't
know.
the zombies start
I
flooding
think they eventually got
in,
in,
or-
didn't they? I'm
They
pretty sure
did
the zombies
eventually
got
get
Yeah,
in.
they knocked all the gates
Didn't
down or
didn't the
something.
townspeople run cars through the fences where zombies were getting in?
I think
wanna
they
say
did.
maybe
Man,
they
it's been
did.
so long.
I
Yeah.
know,
Let's-
gosh.
well,
yeah,
man,
yeah.
we're an hour.
But
Back
we
to Brave
apologize
Star.
for that.
But that's when
Okay.
that's the climax of The Walking Dead.
Yeah. It
The
goes downhill from
governor,
there.
and once the governor's gone,
Yeah.
it does. It
They
just,
say Negan kind of revitalized it, I think, right? But
I never
don't
made that
never
far.
made that far. Back to Brave Star. Who
Okay,
you got?
back
Who
to Brave Star.
are we going to start at the minimum, the smaller characters, and work up to the Marshal?
I'm just gonna start with the way I got it wrote on my notes.
Which I'm betting Marshall's first.
No, director.
Oh God.
I can't pronounce his name,
Say
but
it.
the guy
Okay.
that does Thor Ragnarok,
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi. I
He's
think he'd
good.
be great.
He was good at anything he does.
He is, and
Are you
He's-
wanting this to be a
He
comedy?
need.
well, I think it
He
needs
Well,
to
it
be
kinda
like
is
he,
a comedy,
he drops
though.
he drops some. You know, it's not made as a comedy,
Yeah.
but he's going to do stuff in it that is fun.
yeah. I think
genuinely.
I think it should be kind of formatic, like kind of like Thor Ragnarok.
I
I think
think
it
you
would
could
work
do that.
well
Yeah,
like
it would.
that.
Well,
I
let me
would.
ask you this. Would you do at the end the lesson that we learned in today's episode like they do?
Does Brave Star do that?
Yeah.
Every
Does.
episode.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
love
has him
that.
like sitting in front of
Yeah.
the...
Well,
Oh,
you'd have to
man.
throw that in
jail
the
and all
movie
that.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be an end credit scene.
Or if he somehow got it in there where it looks like he's breaking the fourth wall, but he's not really. Like it's like it starts a scene and he's kicked back tail, and it turns out he's actually talking to a group of people or something
That
or
would be
whatever.
pretty cool.
People wouldn't know.
Kids sitting
People,
around,
right? People
town's
would be
kids.
in on it.
Yeah. Or
God,
those
I love
little...
that.
God, what are them little miners?
You remember the PSAs at the end of G.I. Joe and stuff? Like, don't ride your bike over broken electrical wires and stuff. Have you ever seen the redubs of that on the internet?
Uh-uh.
Oh, my gosh. We got to look this up later.
Okay.
Write that down.
Write it down.
There's this guy, and they're like probably some of the first viral videos that the internet ever had. And I can't remember what the name of the little group was that did it. But he dubs over every one of those PSAs, and he's got like I want to say it was Roadblock or whatever, but it doesn't make any sense. It's like Roadblock on there. He's like body massage, and he's talking about eating rib sandwiches and all. It's hilarious, whatever it was. But
Sounds
it's kind of like
the,
We
the
should
Juggernaut.
dub over
What
the
is
Brave
that that
Star.
we
You
want?
could.
endings.
You absolutely could.
Yeah.
You remember the guy that dubbed over the Juggernaut scenes in X-Men or whatever? It's
No,
the
I haven't seen-
Juggernaut, and that's where that came from. You know.
I hadn't seen
God,
that
there's a
movie.
lot of.
Uh,
Okay.
It's like the
Brave
bad
Star.
lip readings.
Anyways,
Yeah, right.
I've got to play Brave Star.
You gonna start at the? Okay, we're gonna start at the
starting
big
at the top,
guys.
bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Good.
mean,
Hey,
who's first names you see in the cast?
I tell you what, give you 3 guesses who he's got for Brave Star. Go ahead.
Who do you think? Let's
Well,
hear your
I
first
would
guess.
just guess you're gonna say The Rock.
No, the Rock is
Okay.
not in this. The
That's
Rock's
fine.
not in this
Really?
casting at
Okay.
all.
Okay, I would have guessed.
I've got
You gotta have a
Adam
Native
Beach,
American to
who
play
is
the
a legit Native
American.
American.
Okay.
You
So
know.
no
Is-
cultural
That's snakes and
appropriation.
sparklers.
Chicken wing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
chicken
chicken
wing.
wing.
Okay. Chicken
Kicking.
wing.
Kicking wing. Why
You
do I
did
say-
that
I
every
do it every
time.
time.
Why you do that?
I had a,
Shots
Somebody
fired.
got shot out.
damn, oh damn.
Called
The
him
old shaman, I really had a hard time, and I didn't even write nobody down because I couldn't think of an old Native American actor who could really.
The guy that he's always plays an old Native American. He was.
With the long white braided hair.
Have you ever seen Heat?
Mm-mm.
Who would you know him from? God, you'd know him if you've seen him, I think. But he is an older Native American actor, and he's the stereotypical guy you get. But he plays it well, and he embraces it even. Like, if you see a scene where they're sitting... What movie was it where they were sitting around smoking the peace pipe at the... You ever seen A Million Ways to Die in the West?
Oh yeah, they're in the
I want
tents.
to say
Yeah.
he's... Maybe he's the
Get
Indian
your phone,
chief in
you can
man. I
Google it.
don't know.
Well,
Anyways,
Yeah.
there
So
are
that
def-
guy. We'll
there-
go with that
yeah,
guy.
there are...
Yeah, that he'll work for me.
Million
'cause
Ways
I
to Die
could-
in the West is a hilarious
It's
movie.
pretty funny.
That
It's
one's very
pretty
fun. We've
funny.
watched that one. I don't know how many
It's
times.
Pretty
Couple
funny. I
times.
think
It's pretty
MacGruber's
fun.
better, but okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, the shaman's not like a huge part of Brave Star. Best I can tell.
But that's his dad too.
It's not
Is
his
it?
dad.
Oh.
It's
wait, who is that?
he's raising him. You can tell, and so the way the pilot starts out is they're on a ship. Whoever the shaman's main bad guy is like attacking, and the shaman
his
gives
son?
imparts the powers that Brave Star has onto the child, and he's in like some kind of like
I need the iPad.
I got a new iPad. I got a big 12.9
whatever
inch
those
Pro.
things like in Aliens where they put you in those pods.
Yeah.
Yeah, cryogenic chamber.
Looks like he's in
things.
something like that.
Is
Yeah.
Brave
He's gotta
Star
sleep for a
alternate
while.
future? Is it supposed to take place well in the future?
It's in some
I
future.
guess
They're
so,
on
'cause
another
they're
planet.
in
Did they say? Did they call the
spaceships
planet
and all that
Earth or
kind
is
of
it
stuff.
No,
a
it's
new?
New Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Planet
the
New
whole planet.
Texas.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, the whole
New
planet's
Texas.
New Texas,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a Western planet.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
they mine curium,
Curium. Yep.
and it's like a
There's a power
like
all their
gold.
stuff.
energy source for
Yeah.
the whole universe. I
Yeah.
reckon the
Isn't
way
that
they
weird?
talk.
People always trying to
Transformers had
come steal it.
energon. Like all this stuff is based on. We had to have an energy source.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Well,
weird.
I mean, in
that's
reality,
true.
humans,
We're fighting over oil.
everything
right?
comes down to an energy source, and I'm sure it's like that on any. If there is more planets,
Till Elon Musk gets involved, and then he's saving the world with batteries.
Elon.
I
I like
him.
Elon.
I like him. I'm all right with that. He's in Iron Man
Crazy.
too. I saw him this past weekend. Or past week.
He is in that. He was
Yeah.
on SNL.
He's like, I
didn't
got,
watch
I
it.
got an idea for an electric jet. And he's like, we'll make it work.
Yeah, I don't remember him being in that, but I do like him. Then okay, so 3030 is the
His
horse.
faithful steed
Yeah, his
that can stand up
sidekick.
and shoot a gun.
Yeah,
He
can-
transforms. He'll,
Yeah.
What is it he says?
I can't remember.
Does he have a phrase when he
Crap.
transforms?
Yeah, he says
Really?
something and he transforms into like standing up
He's
like
standing
a
up.
human.
I
and
would
then
say-
he'll
so
go back
it's
down to a
more
horse.
humanoid.
So I've
Yeah.
got a Marshall, the original Marshall Brave Star action figure sealed in the box,
Mm-hmm.
never been opened. I keep it in a box in my closet, and I was on the hunt for 3030 because like you want his sidekick too. He's expensive. 3030 is expensive,
Yeah, he's more
He is.
expensive.
and I just
than
want him in the
Marshall
box.
Brave
Like
Star.
I don't
Oh,
want
yeah.
him loose. So
Yeah, he's
he's
expensive.
a
blues.
$300 something.
Yeah.
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 Most of that Brave Star stuff's not cheap.
Yeah.
No.
Cool stuff.
And
though.
we've got a Fort Curium, so if you're looking for one, hit us up.
there you go.
I'm
It's almost
thinking
complete.
since he's a voice, I want Bradley Cooper.
Who are we talking about?
3030.
3030. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, Bradley
okay.
Cooper, who somebody told me I look like.
That's the reason why you just said that.
No, I had him down here way before that, but somebody told me today I look like Bradley Cooper. Better than Woody Harrelson. So,
Is it? Okay.
yeah.
Well,
I mean, who would you rather be called? Woody Harrelson?
I'm just gonna be myself. I'll be happy with that.
Sorry, you don't have one of those
I don't need
faces
to
where you get
glom up.
mistaken.
I got
for-
told. Hey, I got told again this past week. I had beautiful hair.
Yeah, but you're
The
not
lady in
getting
the
told
gas
you look like
station.
celebrities.
I'd rather look like myself and be beautiful
I'm
than
getting-
like you look like that person that I
Hey.
would rather you be.
I'm getting once a week some form of celebrity. I got Stephen Amell last week.
Robbie Amell?
That was
No.
me that said that.
Is it?
No, somebody in
ain't
the
his
store
name
told me I
Robbie?
look like Arrow.
Ain't his
Oh, yeah,
name
well,
Robbie
I said that
Amell?
too.
No, it's
That's his
Stephen Amell.
brother.
That's his brother.
He's got a brother. Stephen Amell's Arrow.
Since I shaved my head,
Okay, hold on a minute. Who plays Casey Jones in the second?
Stephen Amell.
That's
Yeah,
Steven?
that's
Well, what
it.
has Robbie been in? 'Cause that's what I
He was
always...
also an Arrow, but he was
Arsenal.
That District
oh yeah, District 9.
District 9 or something
Oh,
like that.
I love her District. Are you talking about the movie District 9?
Yeah.
What was he in District 9?
No, what is that
Nah,
movie
he's
called?
not in District
Sector 9 or
I didn't see that.
You got your phone. You
got
got
my
your
Yeah,
camera.
we
I
don't want
can't.
to drag it
Mine's
down
on
looking
the.
stuff up.
Anyways,
I know,
he's
that's why I
I'll
need
figure
the.
that out
I need the
later.
iPad.
he's in a movie that was on Netflix that Steve Amell and I think him wrote together.
Okay. I guess I always thought his name was Robbie.
And
I
it's a
didn't know there
movie
were
with
two
people with superpowers, and they're like, I can't remember the whole movie. It's not that great of a movie.
Okay. Robbie, Steve Amell has a lot higher voice than you would expect him to have when he talks. Like in that Ninja Turtles movie when he's playing Casey Jones or where he is on up here, something. He's like,
But it's not like I guess he
he probably can too.
talks it down in
Oh,
Arrow.
I'm sure he puts his superhero voice on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
He had a little stint in the WWE too. And
Oh,
They
like
all
real,
do.
like before or during?
no, like during the Arrow thing,
Oh,
he was a
okay.
big thing in the
Yeah.
WWE. And at one time I had read that he was like into it
I
Yeah.
thought
and
weren't
was
they,
like
talking
training
about,
to like possibly be on the WWE roster full
Wow.
time.
Well, I
Okay.
think wasn't there like some kind of talks about him playing Stone Cold?
No,
In like a-
please no.
It was something like that. Like
No, like,
people
he
want him
can't-
to like play a young Stone Cold in a Stone Cold movie.
He cannot pull it. Maybe a Shawn Michaels or somebody like that. But
Well,
he
now,
He's
Stone
something.
Cold didn't always look like the
Oh, I know.
bald-headed
Oh, I know. We
brawler.
watched the Dark Side of the Ring,
With
and
him
you
and,
can't.
Brian
with that
Pillman.
blonde hair.
Uh,
the
yeah.
Hollywood Blondes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that is.
A
He
big
looked nothing
departure.
like
But
I
even
know.
then, he's a bigger builded
Yeah.
guy, and Steve Amell's like my size
Well, it
kind
might
of
have
guy.
been him being somebody
Steroids?
else, but something with him.
You making Chris Hemsworth be a Hulk Hogan or whatever? Like steroids can do a lot.
He's getting a lot of flack right now because he put
Little
up.
tiny legs.
Yeah, they're so tiny.
Are they really?
Oh,
I didn't
they're-
I didn't look.
There's a picture
He
that he
skips
posted
leg
on his
day.
Instagram where he's walking with his son. He's holding his son's hand. He's in like a tank
Oh
top,
yeah, he got him little ways.
and his arms are jacked.
Yeah,
I
but they're gonna
mean,
film him from the waist up most of the time.
He's
You know,
gonna be
you-
in
He wear
pants. But hey,
pants.
look, still, you need a well balanced body.
sure.
Theoretically,
Gonna hurt them kneecaps.
for perfect bodybuilding, your arms and your calves are supposed to be the same,
Same
size.
size, yeah.
That's perfect, symmetry.
Or whatever. Yeah.
So, and his arms are 20-inch arms.
Yeah.
He ain't got 20-inch calves.
Yeah.
He's
I
got
don't
like
want-
my size calves.
I don't want my arms as big as my calves. I got big old calves.
Oh, I would. I'd take one. Yeah.
That would
yeah, I
look
think
weird
I
on
would-
me though.
Well,
I'd have
my
some-
arms are
I'd
bigger
have
than
some
my
big old
calves.
biceps. I got like 16-inch calves.
But I'm
I don't
close.
have 16-inch biceps.
I'm close to symmetry. My arms are 16 inches. My calves are 15 inches.
Okay, get back to you.
So, anyways, I'm
Yeah.
close.
Yeah, yeah,
Gosh, he just looks for an opportunity to slide that stuff in.
Yeah, hey.
Try
whatever.
living with him.
I look like Woody Harrelson. Like, is that a compliment? Or you?
I don't think it is a compliment.
Backhanded compliment.
That's why I'm saying,
Yeah.
who would you rather be? Would you rather be somebody come to you and go, hey, you look like Bradley
You know
Cooper,
what I like
or
about Bradley
Stephen
Cooper?
Amell?
People look at Bradley Cooper and they'll be like, looking at you, I think your role would be voicing a cinematronic raccoon. Like, not a...
Or a horse.
You've got a good face for
Or a
radio.
So then there's that little
His little...
Deputy Fuzz.
Yeah, which is
Oh,
basically his
gosh.
snarf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
snarf.
Oh.
That was a hard one, and I was like, you know what, David Spade's stupid, and he could probably pull that off.
Yeah, I like
So I was like, David Spade will work. And then the main chick, her name is they call her JB McBride.
Is she a judge on the show?
She's a judge.
Yeah, she's the town judge.
I thought Jennifer Lawrence.
And
I
her
hate Jennifer Lawrence.
dad
You hate
is
Jennifer
the...
I
Lawrence?
don't care for her.
Her dad's the
Her dad, I forgot to put him on here.
sheriff?
Uh,
No, I mean the
he's not the sheriff.
mayor?
No. I'll tell you what his dad is. I got it pulled up.
You'd
too.
think they'd have a mayor in that show.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. He's a garbage.
Is he, like, corrupt?
Yeah, he's a
Oh,
garbage
okay.
person.
Yeah.
I haven't watched enough of it to.
They have to like
Angus
threaten him.
McBride. He's a former Curium
scientist.
prospector who now operates Fort Curium's newspaper.
Who, her father?
Her father.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit on my leg.
Oh yeah, he's that. He's always.
I didn't pick
Like
anybody for
feeble
him.
old
He's
man.
considered a supporting cast, and there was one supporting cast person I put on here. Back to my notes.
Who else we got? I remember there's a bartender in there.
I
isn't
put
there?
Handlebar. He's a supporting character.
Yeah.
But I was like, he's
He's
iconic
in, like, every
character. He
episode,
got an
right?
action figure.
Yeah, right. That's a good scale.
So-
Like, if you got an action figure,
But
need
you
an
know,
actor.
the judge JB, every episode, no action figure.
You don't make in the
Yeah, that is
80s.
weird.
You do not make girls' toys because boys will not buy them. Like the fact that April O'Neil
It's
got
not
a
a
toy
Barbie.
and that Lady J and Scarlett got toys, astronomical. Like they
I
would
think
not
Scarlett's
do
because
it.
they put her in a wetsuit onesie, so they're probably like, guys will buy this.
Well, and then also Lady J basically looks like a dude. I mean, if you look at the head on that Lady J wearing the cap and everything,
Yeah.
you could say that that's a guy. Really. Couldn't
Yeah.
you? Do you agree with that?
I don't think so.
I think like a girly guy, but a guy
No.
basically.
Handlebar, I thought Batista.
I can see that. It's got the similar build and everything.
Same
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
a good call.
build.
Except
Yeah.
for Batista already don't want to play Drax anymore.
And he don't want to take his shirt off no more. I saw that.
But he's
too.
not
Well,
a
it's because he
want-
don't want to play Drax because he don't want to keep putting his body through all that working out, so he
Yeah.
don't want to be shirtless.
Well, he's just getting old.
He is
That's
good.
what he's
probably
saying.
getting
It's
real
hard for him to
50-something
keep
up,
in
yeah.
that shape. He
I
don't.
mean, I bet it
he
is.
won't be
'cause
shirtless.
He's pretty jacked.
Yeah.
But he would not be shirtless. And all they'd have to do is paint his face and his hands green.
And he already does that for Drax. Like just
Exactly.
move from that movie to this
It
one.
wouldn't be hard. And I think he'd be good at it.
James Gunn would be a good director for that too.
Tex Hex, who's the main villain, and I didn't go through here. There's a bunch of lackey villains.
Yeah,
yeah,
I didn't do that either. On
I didn't
mine.
do it.
Me
Tex
neither.
Hex and his little sidekick.
As far as you got to go.
As far as I thought, I was like Woody Harrelson.
Man, Woody Harrelson's featuring this week.
Yeah, so I did pick Woody to be Tex Hex because I don't know. I think he's actually a good actor.
I do too. I
think
like
he-
Woody
and
Harrelson.
he
I'm
has-
ready to see him in Carnage.
Me too.
He's one of those that has he's a broad actor, so I mean he can be in a
He's
comedy.
kind of like
he
Johnny
can,
Depp.
Oh man, he's in a hilarious. He hosted Saturday Night Live one time, and he played this scientist that made this robot or whatever. And like the government, I guess, had funded him millions and millions of dollars to produce this robot. And I think the robot was supposed to be like a killing machine or something. I don't remember exactly. Watch that skit. It's hilarious. Go back.
I have to watch it.
It's hilarious.
I put him, and then for Outlaw Scuzz, which is basically the same species as Deputy Fuzz. They're the actual natural inhabitants of New Texas.
Okay.
And they're builders. They can like build anything and do all this.
This is a bad guy though.
He's the bad version of Deputy Fuzz.
But he's the main guy's sidekick.
He's the main guy's sidekick. I had a hard time, and I really couldn't find anybody. So I was thinking, like, David Spade played both of them.
Or you
Might as
could
well
get.
change
What
his
about Andy
voice.
Serkis? He's good. The guy that did the voice of, like he did Claw in the Black Panther movies. He always does all the motion capture or whatever for like animated characters and stuff.
Yeah.
But he does good voices too. Like he'd be good for it. He can
Say
do it
Claw,
real.
and
He
I
can do
thought
an
about
evil
Inspector
voice or
Gadget.
whatever.
Well, see, they don't have
Yeah.
they don't have necessarily. They're very snarf-like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they just, I'll find a video and just let you hear it.
Yeah.
I'll put it up here and people can hear it,
Awful.
and then they can help.
So awful.
Yeah. You got to have an indigenous creature.
Yes,
But
always.
they're
Transformers
builders.
is-
Jar
We
Jar.
we were the indigenous creature in Transformers.
Well, you know, they're kind of like
Think
on
about it.
Thundercats. You know those bears?
The burbles, the
Oh,
Robear
gosh.
burbles.
Yeah, who are?
Robear burbles. Yeah, those are
Those-
annoying.
Yeah, but you know they're
Little robot.
They're
Ewoks.
builders.
Yeah. The burbles. That's the first. I think the first episode of the show is called the burbles. I think you meet them the first episode.
Yes, because they take them in
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The
or help
burbles.
save
Well, here's
them.
the-
Robear burbles. Man, they're
the theme
creepy
song
too.
They
for
are.
They
for
don't have
Brave
mouths
Star.
like they have like lights. They're like their mouth lights up or something.
Yeah.
Here we go.
This is the theme song. Kind of.
Don't. 105.35.
Lasers.
And one day a lawman appeared with powers of hawk, wolf, puma, and bear. Protector of peace, mystic man from afar. Champion of justice, Marshal Brave Star. Brave Star. Brave Star.
Hard to rhyme. Speed of a puma.
It is. Now let me see if I can find. I
Brave
thought
Star.
this
Pretty good
was-
theme song though.
It's not that bad.
I mean, it tells
Uh-uh.
you what's going on.
You got the whole.
you do get the gist of
Yeah.
what he's doing. I
Yeah.
can't just find a single. Everything of these are all episodes. I just want to hear fuzz. And literally everything that pops up is an episode. And I don't know.
It's gonna be tough to find. I've never heard of Fuzz before, so finding the fact that there's a video on YouTube, you could probably find Snarf, but I doubt you find
Oh, yeah.
Fuzz.
Might just have to click on one of these random videos.
Maybe we just.
Yeah, we'll come back to
Steve
it.
We'll
said
come
it.
back.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
What else you got?
We'll
Was
find
that
out
all
though,
of your
didn't
cast?
That's all my
That's
cast.
as far as you go.
But there's so many supporting characters. That
Yeah,
like,
that's what I mean. You're gonna
I
have
mean,
but those people are like you can have no-name actors or new actors and stuff. You know that may be where they discover those
Oh,
people
yeah.
and those characters.
I mean,
you
there's
know.
so many. I was looking it up and I was like, oh my lord.
So the style of movie are you basically leaning on kind of like Thor
I'm
Ragnarok?
thinking like a Thor
an
Ragnarok,
action
you know,
kind of movie, but
an
it's
action
sprinkles.
movie,
But he can do some funny stuff in
but
it.
with enough comedy in it.
Yep.
And honestly, the style, because they're on another planet.
Mm-hmm.
All of Ragnarok shot on that other planet. You
Mhm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
that's the way I'd want it.
I like Thor Ragnarok.
I love Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah,
there-
we
it's-
just watched
it-
it the other night.
It is a
again.
really good movie, but when you set it up next to it's the third movie in the Thor series, it's like these ain't the same people. That's not even Thor's not even the same person. You know,
Oh,
it's
they
like,
completely
I love
like.
it.
they scrapped 1 and 2 basically.
Yeah.
You know, I
Well,
mean, there's
let's
some under.
redo this.
Eventually, when he comes back into the Avengers movies or whatever, he's got the burden, and even in Ragnarok or whatever, when he decides like I've got to deal with Hela. He's not the goofball he was on the planet, like where he's throwing the ball up against the glass and it hits him in the head. You know, he's kind of a goofball at parts, but when it gets down to business, he's back to serious or whatever. And man,
Yeah.
the music they picked in that movie when
Oh,
when he's coming down, I can't remember what the name. Yeah, that when he's coming down, and he's just slinging those people like God, it's so good.
Great soundtrack.
Yes, it is so awesome. That movie is great. The
That's-
music fits that
Oh,
movie
yeah. It's
perfectly.
One of the best.
Taika
MCU
Waititi
movies.
is I mean, I don't know how much. I'm sure he does, but I don't know how much. If he picks okay, we're gonna do that song here. That's what I got in mind, or whatever. But he has his visions. What his finished product of movies always turns out good. Like if you comedies. Speaking of comedies, the one What We Do in the Shadows is what it's called, and it's basically he's in the movie, like he acts in the movie, and it's like a group of vampires that share a house together in New Zealand, which is where he's from, and It's a good movie. You should watch it. It's not the same kind of movie as MacGruber. It's not that kind of movie. It's like he's talking to the camera because it's almost, they shoot the movie as if it's a documentary about vampires. Like the documentary crew's okay with it, we knowing that these are vampires or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious. There's like 4 or 5 different kinds of vampires living in the same house.
Have we seen
Super
that before?
good. It's really good. You'd know it if you
Might have to
saw
watch
it.
it, though.
What We Do in the Shadows, and it eventually on some form. I don't remember if it was Netflix or where. They eventually got turned into a show, and Taika Waititi's got something to do with that, I think. But that got turned into a show, and then there's so one of the funniest parts in the movies is the cops show up. There's like a bunch of screaming or whatever going on. Somebody calls the cops on the house. Well, they get the cops in the house, and like vampires can suggest things and you believe it or whatever. So they're seeing all this stuff. There's this guy on the ground that's got his head turned around completely backwards. Somebody killed him or whatever, like a vampire hunter. And they're walking around looking, and he's like, "You won't see anything" or whatever. So they're looking. It's like, what do we got over here? And it's like, fire extinguishers. It's too far away or whatever. He's like, no, it's not. He's like, no, it's not. It's like as soon as they say something, they correct him or whatever. It's super funny. But anyways, there were 2 cops in that episode in that movie. They eventually got their own spin-off show just about the cops in the What We Do in the Shadows movie.
You
So
know,
it spawned 2 shows off of that one movie. It's really good.
Taika
Waititi.
Taika Waititi. He
Waititi.
could voice this other Fuzz.
Yeah, he does good voices. He's he's the voice of Korg in the Ragnarok movie.
So
yeah, he's
we
good.
can have him.
He's really good.
Well, that's mine. Like I said, I didn't do a whole
that's
bunch
all
of
right,
supporting
yeah.
characters.
Yeah.
Bobstead.
So
And you could almost, like, since that's an 80s show, I felt like Thor Ragnarok went 80s route music.
It did.
And you could almost,
Man, I tell
you
you.
could almost rip that soundtrack, put it in
He's
Bravestar.
nearly good.
And it would fit.
That 70s, 80s music or whatever, like I just don't see 30 years from now them using music from today in movies. They'll still be going back to those songs.
You can't.
What was so different back then?
You
that
had
the
real
music is
artists, and they were on
timeless.
good drugs.
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
weren't creating cover models.
They weren't still
Look,
people
they didn't
and
have.
remaking the beats.
Right.
Yeah,
of
they didn't
stuff
have
that's
just a
already
beat
there.
maker.
Right.
Yeah,
They're
actually
real
making
musicians.
Well,
music,
that
yeah.
also, but then like today, it's like they don't care how good you are at writing songs and playing music or
Yeah,
whatever.
they're gonna synthesize.
Well,
your
it's not that.
stuff
If you don't fit on the cover of a magazine, they don't care.
Oh, and
Yeah.
half those guys are hideous.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what
The
they
80s
are.
hair bands
And country music, like country, I don't listen to country music much anymore. But back in the 80s and 90s and stuff like
Yeah,
that,
90s
like
country's the best.
they were good stuff. But those people would look like grown, normal men and women
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. Now, if you look older than 16 or whatever, and
Yeah.
you're just a pop music star. You're not a musician.
That's all
Yeah.
country music is.
I
now.
can't stand it
They're
now. I
literally
hate it.
pop
It
singers.
is so pandering to the audience or whatever.
Can't
where
stand it
you know,
either.
Yeah.
There's only a handful of guys in country music now who are
Yeah.
like good
Right.
country music singers,
Right.
and you the really good ones you won't ever even hear on the radio.
Right.
They just don't fit the mold that they want to push.
Anything else you want to say about Brave Star?
That pretty much covers my Bravestar
Yeah.
take.
Kind of like a Marvel kind of style setting or whatever. Like we're shooting in a real world desert, but we're CG in the buildings if it need be or whatever. Did it all just look basically Earth Old West or whatever? Was there anything futuristic?
It looks
in
Mars.
Yeah,
like-
Yeah.
Mars,
Yeah,
like
like-
a desert on Mars.
So
Okay.
I'm thinking, have you ever
Like-
seen John Carter?
No,
Mars,
I
Nevada.
know what you're talking about.
Well-
yeah, well that's what they would do.
That
yeah.
look, because that's
Yeah.
kind of how the planet
Little red
looks.
tint.
Actually, I guess you just go to
everything, yeah.
Utah to where
Man, you
it's
ain't never seen
red.
John Carter?
Never looked interesting to me.
I loved it, but it did not.
It bombed.
bombed hard.
But they bring John Carter's in the comics a lot now. Like he has. I think he does fairly well in comics or whatever.
Well, I loved that movie, and I thought it was good, but it
Yeah.
didn't do well.
Nah,
It's good.
that guy. Yeah.
It'd be
Well,
like
who-
that sometimes.
Was Sam Worthington, was he the one in John Carter?
don't
No,
remember.
I don't think it was. Yeah, I know he was. It was the guy that played Gambit in the Wolverine Origins movie, wasn't it?
You
I
might
may
be
be wrong.
right.
I might be wrong.
Honestly,
Doesn't matter.
I couldn't tell you. I just know that that's the way that planet, the way they did it in that movie, that would be
Mhm.
the best way to do it
Yeah.
in my Bravestar movie.
Okay.
It'd be kind of like Utah.
Any-
I,
any-
I'm
raw.
for
Yeah.
any white because they
least
can, they
amount
can,
of CGI as possible.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
if you
Utah was
can,
kinda red.
if you can
Mhm.
cosmetically make someone look like an alien, do that.
You
Yeah.
want like practical.
We were
effects.
talking about this
Yes.
today with Marcus in the store. They CGI dogs and cats now.
Well,
in
because they
movies.
can make them do stuff that rather than having to have a trained stupid animal. It's
Well,
like we
wouldn't
can
you?
just
But
do
it don't look
That
good.
costs so
Ah.
much money.
Look,
and it
we
takes so much
watched
time.
guess,
Coming
yeah.
to America 2. They CGI'd every animal in the movie.
just like an elephant just walking like far
or a
off, just
pack of
walking
zebras.
by.
CGI.
It's like I know you
That's-
have a shot from like Animal Planet that you could have paid them
You,
to use.
you
as
probably
a-
could have, but if you think about the actual logistics, so it's like we've got real world whiny, overpaid actors that don't want to be in the same room as a bear or whatever.
Well, see,
You
it's
know what I'm saying?
outdoors though. Like,
Well,
so
look,
theirs was
it
like
costs-
a jungle scene, like an elephant, like a grown elephant, like 100 yards away, walking just from left side to right side, and they CGI'd it. You
It
could
costs
tell
way
was
more money to
awful.
CGI an elephant than it does to bring in. Oh no,
When
it
you-
does.
I'm just saying though, when you're thinking about the amount of the budget that these people have, why would I care how much money it costs? Because you've given me this amount of budget or whatever. We expect the movie to make exponentially more than that. So just to avoid the
they
just to
don't
avoid
do
the
it because of
hassle.
hassle anymore. They do it because PETA and all these other stupid
part of
animal
it.
groups have complained
Yes.
so hard that they don't want the backlash.
It could be, but
No,
they're
that's
not.
100% what
It's
it
not
is.
though, because if you look at the background scenes of the Avengers or whatever, something that don't have nothing to do with like their CG in buildings or whatever, because they're shooting on a soundstage, so it's like we're just standing in front of big green blocks and we're going to come back and add the brick and stuff
Well,
later.
that makes
It's
more
like-
sense though.
But you could do that in a real world practical set. There are set builders that PETA don't care anything about. They could build a ton of real stuff, but they don't because it's more efficient for their schedule and everything. Because Americans aren't going to be doing most of this animating anyways. We're going to get
Well,
all
not
this
only
stuff done
that, like
overseas and
if
stuff.
they build it and they have to store it,
No, they tear
or
it
they
back
tear
down.
it. But I mean, a lot of that crap
It's just
that
they just don't do it the same way as they used to.
yeah. Well, look,
Computers
I'm
is the
basically
future.
like computers may be, but they just do a horrible job CGIing animals. They
Sometimes.
don't look real. They don't feel real. They just don't like it.
Recreating a million pieces of individual hair is tough to get right. You know,
Yeah.
Well,
it
they
is.
don't even get the movement of the animal right. I don't know, it just don't look good.
Yeah.
I hardly ever see any CGI'd animal that I'm like, that moves like an animal. It looks.
They need to get what's his name, Gunn,
James Gunn.
does Rocket.
They do a better job
They
with
do
him.
Rocket.
But the only reason that is because he's a humanoid animal,
yeah, yeah.
and they can actually get him in the suit making the movements, and they can get the movement right. They can't put a freaking tiger in a green suit.
You still want them putting peanut butter in Mr. Ed's mouth so he'll go like this.
Well, it works better. Look, you've seen the old Turtles movie, and then you look at the new Turtles movie.
Oh,
The
yeah, I'd
old
rather have them in
Turtles who are in
suits.
suits who aren't CGI'd look better than the CGI'd Turtles.
Yeah, them turtles are dumb.
I like the design of the original Turtles better. I just didn't care the artistic direction that they went with the newer Turtles, but I don't mind that the Turtles would be CGI.
I don't mind them being CGI'd either, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes you don't have to CGI.
You don't have to, and there's a lot of people that they try not. Like, like Drax is actually wearing all those little
and
skin
Nebula.
tattoos and stuff. Right, that kind of
Nebula's
stuff,
and it works. Like, I'm not
Gamora.
against CGI. Yeah, Gamora.
Yeah.
I'm not against CGI. Obviously, it makes when I watch an old movie that had crappy CGI and today's CGI. It's a
And
better.
it just makes it
makes
where
better.
they can do so much more epic stuff. Because
I
they
like
don't actually,
CGI,
yeah.
but I think they
I get what you're
go
saying.
overboard.
It can be. You can overdo anything.
You can.
Mm.
Like, there's a lot
Like
of
the
great
Scorpion.
makeup
Like,
artists.
put the Scorpion in a giant mechanical scorpion instead of just making his stupid face on a computer in The Mummy Returns. You remember? Oh my God, it was some of the worst CGI.
See, that
ever
was
made.
right there when they were
That's when the Rock
just.
Yeah.
didn't get no talking
They
roles.
overstep.
They were like,
Yeah. He didn't even say a
"Whoa."
word in that. You know, it was just his
No.
stupid face.
Yeah.
And it kind of an estimation of his stupid face.
Yeah, and him walking through the desert finding that little scorpion.
Yeah.
The Rock's great though.
Scorpion King was hard to watch too, a little bit.
But
it's okay,
I
though. It
remember
got better.
enjoying it.
It got
yeah,
better.
Yeah.
I like.
He got
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, that had that chick in it. She was good looking. What was her name?
Oh,
Woo or something like that. Something Woo. Anyways, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All right,
Right.
we're done with Brave Star, so we're gonna
We're
move
done.
on
We're
to
moving away
the
from me.
number 2 chair. Renee, what was your pick?
So mine's Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bro. Hey, little mama.
Yeah.
My dad used to love Johnny Bravo.
Oh, I love Johnny Bravo.
I love
yeah,
it
that was
too.
hilarious.
I
Good
got a little
funny show.
McDonald's Johnny Bravo figure sitting behind the counter.
Yeah, he's funny.
That would be another one if I had a toy company.
Yeah.
You best believe I'd be making some awesome Johnny
Bravos.
Bravo,
Yeah.
If you
Dexter's
get it
Lab,
from
Yeah.
Nickelodeon.
Cow and
Yeah,
Chicken.
just get the whole Nicktoons.
No, that's
line.
Cartoon
Yeah.
Network.
Oh, yeah,
Johnny
it
Bravo's
is.
Cartoon Network, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So is Dexter and
Yeah.
Cow and Chicken.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of great things from the 90s that they're not doing. Renee
Yes.
showed me a thing that I'm pretty pumped about. I think it's Super 7's doing it. The original Robin Hood cartoon, The Fox. they're doing him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Super
He's
7 is doing
expensive.
Disney Ultimates. It's
Yeah.
not just that; they're doing all
Yeah,
Disney
and
stuff.
they're
This one looks
expensive.
Yeah,
good.
all their Ultimates are expensive.
And
Yeah.
he comes with him, and his way he looks, and when he's
His stork.
when he's
Uh-huh.
dressing
Stork
up.
disguise.
That's my favorite.
That's
Disney
just one
movie.
figure from that wave. Like I
Yeah.
don't remember who else they're doing, but they're doing a whole line of Disney Ultimates like they do Turtles and.
Well, it looks
Yeah, it
good,
looks really
and I
good.
want it.
And get
Really?
the legs and everything.
I love that movie.
I've got them pre-ordered.
Sweet. I mean, I love that
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah,
buy like
50
6
bucks
or
a piece
8
or
of
something.
them.
I think. Yeah.
Something.
that's,
But I have to buy
uh,
6 or 8 at a time.
There's
so.
not even good Robin Hood toys. I have a little. It might be
You talking about Prince
McDonald's.
of Thieves? Or are you talking about the animated?
I'm talking
one?
about the
The
cartoon.
animated.
Don't tell me there's not any good Kevin Costner Robin Hood
Yeah,
figures.
all those
Oh no,
are
I like
Star
Robin Hood in
Wars.
times. If
Yeah,
they're coming
that's a
out with
good
some
one, too.
figures. I need some blinking.
Yeah.
That'd be
Oh,
another-
a chew.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
another good
Oh.
one. Anyways,
Dave
I'm sorry.
Chappelle.
Go on with your
A
yeah.
chew.
It's Dave Chappelle. I've been on the Dave
Yeah.
Chappelle line.
So of course for The Rock, I picked Johnny Bravo.
So we're gonna have Johnny Bravo playing The Rock.
I picked The Rock.
Well, he loves
It's
Elvis.
been a long day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
That's who
sings.
it's basically.
Yeah.
And
Based off of
Johnny
that.
Bravo is a
caricature of Elvis,
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
or at least his voice anyway,
Oh,
his
yeah.
mannerisms.
even
For
the whole
sure.
down to the karate.
Yep.
Elvis did karate.
He
Yeah.
sure did.
But he didn't have a blonde.
Well, so what's that in
pompadour
Walk Hard?
Only 2 people know karate.
Yeah.
The Chinese
And
and
the
the
king.
king.
And the king.
Yeah. God, that was hilarious. From the best part of Walking Hard is Elvis Presley backstage. What did he say? He's like,
On the bathroom scenes
uh-huh.
with the drugs.
oh man, God,
You don't want no part of this.
Walk Hard is a
Walk
funny
Hard's
movie. That's
hilarious.
a
That is
long
one of my
movie. It's
fa-
like
it
2.5 hours
is.
long.
It's
Like,
so
a big
good,
one.
though,
I bought
gosh.
the soundtrack from that, and he fully recorded every one of those songs. Is a real song that
He needs
exists.
more
and
didgeridoos.
that song is real, and it is super long, like it was in the like that. Every one of his little skit songs
That's
is
so
a full
funny.
song on the soundtrack. He's like, I gotta have that.
That is one of my
God, it's so
favorite.
good.
That's one of my favorite movies
John
too.
C.
We've watched it so
Reilly,
many times.
He is the most underutilized comedic actor in Hollywood. That movie, and I don't know how
It's sadly 'cause he
successful it
looks
was.
so old.
That's fine. He is hilarious. Like
He's-
that's the only movie I know of that he was the front man in a comedy or whatever.
He's
He
a good
is
actor.
Amazing.
He's a good actor.
I
He's
love
just a
John C.
I liked him
phenomenal
in-
actor.
Which? Kong.
Skull Island.
Yeah.
Kong Skull, he's
Yeah.
great in that. He's in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he plays who would eventually become a Nova or whatever. Like I guess that character didn't he? What was his name? I think the guy, the dude's the character's name. Maybe it may have been the other guy, the guy that died or whatever. But I want to say that guy may have actually been the character of Nova at some point. I may be wrong.
I don't
Could be
know.
completely wrong.
I know he's a Nova Corps.
Yeah.
So, but
He's
I
got the
like
red
John C.
wire.
I
Reilly.
love John C. Reilly.
Yeah, it's hilarious. So for Johnny's mama, Bunny, I picked Kathy Bates. Oh, she'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Kathy Bates.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to
Kathy
remember
Bates.
Johnny Bravo's mama.
Mama, she's always wore like the
The
glasses.
glasses
had,
had a big hair. Yeah. Yeah.
She kind of
Yeah.
hair shape. a
Okay.
little bit.
Yeah.
She's always pumping up Johnny, telling him he can do whatever he puts his mind to.
I wonder if have they put Johnny Bravo on HBO Max? Because they've put
I don't
Dexter's
know.
Lab.
I don't
I
think
need
I've
to
seen Johnny
rewatch it.
Bravo.
It's been
Yeah.
a long
I
time.
ain't seen
And
Johnny-
you're
but I
talking about
did-
her mom, and I'm like, I don't even remember Johnny Bravo.
You don't remember his mama?
I can remember what his mother looked like,
He
and
lived
I
at home with his mama.
and I remember his sister was like the straight
He
man,
lived
or
at
like his
home.
sister was more down to earth or whatever. Like she was just a real person, like right.
Who?
Johnny's sister.
He don't have a sister.
He doesn't.
No,
He
no.
didn't have a
You're talking about little
sister?
Susie.
Okay,
the
who is
neighbor.
that? The
That's
neighbor.
the neighbor.
Okay, I was thinking
Little
it was
big
little
neighbor.
sister. Okay.
So I didn't cast her because literally you can
Any
pick
kid
any
actor.
kid actress.
It's just a voice, really.
Yeah, so you can
yeah.
pick anybody for little Susie. But for Carl, which was the nerdy best friend, I picked Justin Long.
Yeah, I like Justin Long. We
I
were
thought
talking
he'd
about
be
waiting
good.
earlier or whatever.
Yeah,
He's good.
He
Yeah.
ain't
So I
done
thought
anything
he
in
would
a
be
while, though.
a real good nerdy friend.
Seems like it has been a while. He's in Idiocracy. He plays a doctor in Idiocracy. I can't remember what his
I know
name.
he seems like he does a lot of voice acting.
Does he? What else has he done voicing?
You put me on the spot. I gotta look it
Never
up.
mind.
I'm looking it up.
Okay.
He had like
all
a
right.
squirrel or something.
I'm trying to. It seems like I remember him doing some voice acting, but I don't remember what it
Yeah.
was.
He's done some voice acting.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
Go
really
with
the
you,
only
What's
other
happening?
person in Johnny Bravo is Pops that owned the diner.
Okay.
They ate at, but I couldn't really come up with anybody for Pops.
Yeah.
So
This was your idea, and
I
you
know,
got three
I know.
names.
Well, actually, it
They
was
only
one of
have
our
like
customers'
they only
ideas.
have like 5 cast members
I'm just
really.
messing
That's
with
you
you.
know everybody else is just
She picked the easiest one.
slutty ladies coming in and out, and you just take your
That
pick
have no
from them.
interest in Johnny
exactly.
Bravo. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Him just going on adventures, but mainly it's Susie and Carl,
Yeah, well, Johnny's going to carry that movie.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
everything's focused
yeah.
on Johnny.
and then his mom,
Yeah.
because he lives at home with his mom, so
Yeah.
she's in every episode.
Oh, you little mama.
Oh, my little
I love it.
Johnny.
Yeah.
That comb.
Yeah. I loved it. I remember watching this. We didn't have cable when I was a kid, younger. So my grandmother was she had your standard cable package or whatever.
Yeah.
So man,
She
we
had
would
them
go
big old
there.
satellite.
No, she actually had
This
she
thing
she
on.
lived in Decatur, so she actually had the wired cable
Yeah.
or whatever the service was at the time. And I can remember, man, we'd get there and commandeer her television. We were watching Cartoon Network and Snick on Nickelodeon. I'd wake up in the morning and I would be watching Nick Jr. just because Nick was going to follow that. So I was
Yeah.
watching Eureka's Castle and all this stuff. Like I watched all that crap.
I'm excited about what is it? The Fear Street. Is that what they're doing? 3-part series, the Goosebumps.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
so they're
cool.
coming out. It's next month.
Yeah.
They're taking the Fear Street, and it'll be 3 weeks in a row that they're going to come out with a movie the first week, then another one, then another one. And so it's going to be set, was it the 90s, and then the 70s, and then the 50s?
So it went way back. Like,
Or is it
Like
40s?
which
Is it
times?
80s, 60s,
Like-
and 40s? Well, you have to look it up on your phone. You can't look up anything on your phone.
anyways, Justin Long
See what
hasn't been in as
Yeah.
many voice actions as I thought, but he does play that Kevin Murphy on F is for Family.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. Have you watched F is for Family?
He played Alvin too on Alvin and the Chipmunks.
That's where I was getting chipmunk squirrel. I was like a squirrel.
So he played Alvin, but I don't know why I thought he was.
F is
more.
for Family is
Never heard of it,
hilarious.
I don't
Oh
guess.
my
It's
goodness.
a Bill Murr's
I
like
tell my
take on his
dogs all the
life.
time. Yeah, I'm
Bill
like
Maher?
Bill
Murr.
Murr.
Who is that?
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr?
Yeah, Bill Burr.
I know him. Yeah,
Who did
yeah.
I say?
You said Bill
Murr.
Murr.
Bill
Bill
Murr.
Burr.
He's
Yeah.
a real guy.
Bill Burr.
Okay.
He lives down
I'm
the street.
thinking, I'm thinking of Bill Maher, and I hate that guy.
Oh.
Phew, boy.
But yeah, F is for Family is hilarious. He's
Yeah,
always
so.
telling his kids that he's going to put them through the effing wall.
Pretty funny.
Yeah, yeah.
There's
yeah,
lots of
yeah, yeah.
profanities in that show.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
grief.
yeah.
It's on
but
Netflix.
There's a
so
lot
much
of people
hilarious.
that using profanity makes it. That's easy comedy. You know, it's something about those words sound funny, especially when
That's
they're
what
screamed
this
at
one is,
people.
just
So
hilarious.
it's just yeah.
Because they're always yelling at each other. There's always stuff going on. And Justin Long plays the like prepubescent teenage son.
Okay.
It's
Alright.
hilarious.
So, yeah. I still like going back and watching the. You
little
talking about
nerd
our?
talks like this. Yes, Dad. Everything's awful. You suck.
It's funny. Set in the 70s.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. That
okay.
camper.
Is it based on his life? That was
I
the
belie-
plan?
I believe
That's
it's
what I'm
like-
saying.
Allegedly.
Yeah,
I
right.
think I
Loosely.
could be wrong about
Yeah,
that, but
Comedians
loosely.
do that. I like comedians like the Chris Rock show and all that kind of.
it's
Yeah.
got that feel of like you
Yeah.
can tell it like
I still want to watch Young Rock.
I haven't watched it. I don't know.
But anyway, so that's my Johnny Bravo.
All right. What kind? So, are you thinking
Oh, mine's more like Austin Powers style, kind of, since
somewhat kind of
he's, I guess, what
slapstick,
you
like
call him, like a sexual predator
you
nowadays.
couldn't probably make Johnny Bravo today. Yeah, Disney ain't gonna do it. That's for sure. Yeah.
So,
And it's
but,
a
you know,
Warner Brothers product.
he's a womanizer, so, you know, we'll go Austin Powers.
Yeah. But you could pitch that
Except
as it was.
for Austin Powers gets the ladies.
I was gonna say you could pitch that as female empowering, or
Yeah,
whatever,
and
because
Johnny
they always
Bravo
resisted.
repels the ladies.
Yeah, he never succeeded. Right? I
No.
mean, they always,
think he
and
did.
it was usually the women beating him up and stuff,
Yeah,
right? So,
he
I
always
mean,
just went back home to his mama.
yeah, they could always pitch that as like this is a
Poor Johnny.
female empowering, which,
I know.
you know,
He shouldn't
realistically,
have moved out of the house, though,
hold up
first
though,
off.
you know, realistically, Johnny was jacked, and
He
he was a
was.
good-looking guy.
But I
We're
think he
talking
didn't
real
do legs
life.
either, though.
He did, yeah, but you can see Chris Hemsworth get most women he wants.
Yeah, anyone we want
That's what
probably.
I'm talking about. So in real world life, Johnny Bravo would be killing it.
Oh, yeah.
You
I would
know,
think
Even
I-
if
well,
he did live at home
It
with his
did-
mama.
and that's what didn't really make sense to me at the time. Was that show was like, man, this guy's jacked. Like, you know, yeah, he's a jerk or whatever, but
But
most
he's
of the
also
time
an
you see
idiot, too, though.
he
Gosh.
is, yeah. But most of the time you see jerks with good-looking women on their arms.
And you see
know?
idiots with good looking
That's a
women.
good point
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And if you
Just
jack
Treat
too,
women
that
like
just
garbage. The more you treat them like garbage, the more they come running.
that's the way it
Seems
is.
like it.
Sad
Yeah.
truth. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's why females are the weakest of the
I
species.
see.
No, I'm
Some shivs over here.
Kind of seem to be.
Oh, go
I
this way,
seen
too.
where
You see both of the people fall over on the side. Just ignore
I think
it.
AT&T owns is AT&T owns Warner Brothers now or something like that. I've seen
Oh,
where there's
I
a
don't
big
know.
merger
Don't ask
between
me.
Yeah.
AT&T and Discovery, and I think AT&T's wanting to sell off all their like entertainment products, which would be like DC and Warner Brothers.
We should make a bid.
Well,
know,
I
right?
seen where they were
I
like,
bet
it's not,
$1,000, Bob.
it's not out of the realm of possibility. Disney's interested supposedly in some of the proproperties.
Well, you
So
know,
of course
DC, they'd
Disney
be looking at
is.
DC.
So it's not out of the realm of
God.
possibility
Imagine.
that DC.
We won't get no more
and Marvel
dark.
be under the same.
Oh. ooh.
Well, that don't be crazy.
Yeah.
I was talking about this to somebody in the store. I'm like, at what point do you look at Disney as a monopoly on the entertainment industry?
But as far as like, can you do that on IP? You know,
You can, because it's
I don't
still
know
a
that you
it's
can.
still a business.
but they're not monopolizing it. Yes, they do own a large portion, but look at how many thousand other production companies there are.
Yeah, but at a certain point, you got to look at, like, so Fox was a huge one, and Disney itself is a huge one. Warner Brothers is a huge one, and almost every major movie or TV show that you can think of, those three companies own most of the products in it. Well, Disney already got Fox now. If they got Warner Brothers, that's monopoly.
I don't
Who
know.
owns that? The one with the lion.
That's MGM.
Metro,
and
MGM, that's Disney. MGM is
Mayor.
is Disney.
Is it? Because I seen something
Yeah, 'cause
where
one of the parks at Disney is MGM
Oh yeah,
Studios.
it is.
well, I seen something where Amazon was put in a bid to buy them. For
Well,
like,
they could have split it off. It could be where Disney can split it up however they want to and sell off that part.
maybe they did that to
But they
avoid
did.
being looked at as a monopoly.
Maybe so. I don't
We're
know.
gonna sell one.
Yeah.
Because I seen
You
where
take the one that ain't got nothing.
Yeah. we keeping that castle though.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure pretty sure Bezos put in a bid to buy MGM.
Okay. That was where when we went to Disney as a child, we went to MGM Studios because that was more like the one that focused more on their realistic properties. Like I remember when we went, Dick Tracy had just come out, so they had like all that crap set up, and Roger Rabbit had come out, so you'd like go walk into the
Roger
stores and
Rabbit.
stuff. I love Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like both those movies.
I do too.
Yeah.
Really like Dick
Yeah,
Tracy.
yeah,
I do too.
yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
It is good stuff.
All right, so
Now down to the last.
yeah, say the best
Can you
for
hand me the
last.
phone charger
I will.
thingy, please?
I'm going to look this up. What Jeff Bezos buying? I'm pretty sure it's MGM.
Thank you, thank you.
So, we've been talking about Snarf. Snarf. Everybody's talking about Snarf.
Talking crap about him.
Well, that's your opinion.
Yeah, Amazon's to buy MGM Studios for $8.45 billion.
Okay.
Psh, that's
they're just-
peanuts.
yeah. Well, and Disney don't need it. I mean, they got their live action. They're banking on Marvel and that kind of stuff. Like you don't. I mean, why wouldn't you make $8 billion if you could off of something that you maybe not using that much? I don't know.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
That's their second largest acquisition. They paid $13.7 billion for Whole Foods.
Whoa. Well, probably a smart move though.
Hooray.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure the guys that started Whole Foods were like, yeah,
Yes,
baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're sitting on a beach somewhere. sipping
Yeah.
some
That they
martinis.
own.
Yeah, on their own private island.
All right. I picked the Thundercats.
Thundercats.
I like the Thundercats.
Which has already been done.
Well,
Thunder.
it ain't
Thunder.
done yet. It ain't
Thundercats.
done yet. I mean, I ain't seen a date nowhere as to when it's coming out.
June 2022.
Yeah, whatever. You don't know that.
No,
right, let me
I don't even know
see
if they've written a script for it yet.
They
They
probably
just
hadn't,
attached a
hadn't.
director.
Which they do that with about anything. Somebody writes a comic book on a napkin. Somebody's paying for the options to make a movie.
They
out of
do,
it.
they attach
Just to lock
directors
them up.
with
They
it
do
Yeah,
that.
right.
just to
Yeah.
get actors and actresses interested. Oh, that so and so's attached to direct.
Yep.
Send my agent a thing so I can get in on this movie.
So we got a big cast, and like you said, there's 1,000 villains in Thundercats. I didn't cast them all. So, but there's a decent sized main team, and I'm gonna go through the characters here, and then we'll come back. So you got your main guy, Lino, Panthro, which was kind of like the inventor guy. He had the red and blue nunchucks. Chitara, she was the hot fast chick, right?
You a furry?
Well, Chitara was pretty hot. So maybe I am. You never know. Do you know? The other dude on the team was Tigra. He was more like the vanilla character or whatever, not too big. He wasn't the genius. I don't know. I don't really know what his point was. He's kind of like what if the way I look at it is if Lionel wasn't there, he'd be the leader probably.
So,
He's second in command.
I
it
like his
seemed
little whip.
Yeah, that bolo whip kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then there's the two kids, Wily Kit and Wily Cat, the two younger Thundercats. And then I did Jaga, which was kind of like he was the leader of the Thundercats or whatever. He dies or
Yeah.
he's kind of like his spirit comes. He's like
Saves
Obi-Wan.
them.
He's like
He's the
Obi-Wan.
shaman.
Yeah, he's the
And Brave
shaman,
Star.
the Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's the spiritual advisor
Yeah.
throughout the show. And then your main bad guy's Mum Ra.
Yep.
You know, starts out as the little tiny mummy. He powers up this big giant
What about
undead
the
creature or
two
whatever.
lackeys?
There's the Monkeyan or whatever, and there's a bunch of them. There's Slyth, the lizard guy or whatever. You know, I didn't do them. I probably should have done the main couple of those. I
Because
did.
those
I started with
two are
Mum
for
Ra.
sure like
Yeah, they're like in every episode.
they're in every episode.
They
They do
are.
all of his
They are.
Mum
And
Ra's
hey,
bidding.
look, you know, as we get down this list, if you got some
We'll
suggestions,
throw John C.
go ahead.
Riley in one.
He could be one. John C.
Yeah, he
Riley.
could be the monkey
He's
guy.
the monkey guy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there you go.
Yeah, because he'd be
He
CGI.
could do that. Yeah, he could do that.
And he's got curly hair.
And then there's a Jackal Man. He was the other main guy. He was Monkeyan, and was it Monkeyan or was he a Monkeyan? I
I
want
do
to say maybe
not.
his name was Monkeyan, and the other dude
Okay.
was Jackal Man. I think. I didn't cast them, so I don't know for sure. But John C. Riley would be a fine Monkeyan, I believe. Okay. So we're not gonna. I'm not gonna throw Lino out there. I mean, who would start with the main guy? I don't know. But
Well, Renee started with the main guy.
I think
Because
she started
mine's-
with the
mine's
mom.
called Johnny Bravo.
She started with Bravo.
Well, she only had
Well,
3
mine's
characters.
called-
Look, so at the end of a movie,
I've only got 5 main.
they
in
don't
mine,
start
and
with the guy nobody cares about. They start with the big name, the
yeah,
draw.
but a movie
Henchman
also
number
a
3.
movie.
Yeah.
Not
They
all the
start
time.
with the
That's
draw.
not all the
Like I
time.
want to know who the
A
draw
good
is.
A good portion of a character say appears in alphabetical order or in order of appearance. They don't always show the main guy
And
starting
most
order.
everybody starts.
And if you're
When
telling a story,
Johnny Bravo is the first one that always shows up in the.
yeah, well, that doesn't work.
you
for my
look at
scenario.
any old movie or any movie,
Mm-mm.
it starts with the top dog first, and it works its way down. But that's okay. It's
So
okay.
when I'm telling a story, I like to build up to what we call it the climax. You don't start the show with a showstopper. Okay, so just different strokes for different
Yeah,
folks.
you
That's
know,
fine. That's
I know, like you like
MacGruber
MacGruber because
yeah.
it's
And
got
you don't
Will
like
Forte's
comedies,
butt a lot.
and you don't like comedy, so that's okay. All right, so we'll just throw Jogga out there. You know, he's not going to be on the show much. He shows up every now and then. I think he is physically in the show in the pilot, but I think he's dead by the time they
he
get to New
is. He
Thundera.
dies by when
Yeah.
they make it to Earth.
So I'm thinking Jeremy Irons. I had originally put Anthony Hopkins.
I don't even know who Jeremy Irons is.
You know, Anthony Hopkins played Odin. You know who he
Yeah,
is,
I know who
right?
Anthony
Okay.
Hopkins is.
Jeremy Irons is the dude that plays. Jeremy Irons is the new Alfred. He was Alfred in the Snyder Justice League movies, and he was in the third Die Hard movie, Die Hard with a
He
Vengeance.
makes-
He was the main bad guy in that.
He reminds me of an older version of in Night at the Museums.
Robin
Common
Williams.
Raw.
Who?
That's
Common Raw.
Henry or the Azari.
Hank Azaria.
Yeah, Hank
Hank
Azaria.
Azaria. Yeah,
He,
they're similar.
he reminds me
Lost
of
a lot
an
of respect for
older
Hank Azaria here
version.
recently.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
we won't
man.
go into that.
Apologizing
But-
for things that
I'll
happened.
tell you,
Yeah.
you want to talk
Boy.
about a bad apology? And I like John Cena.
I saw that.
John
Oh,
Cena.
yeah.
I saw
Let's-
that.
let's
So
don't get
stupid.
into
I'm just, hey, I'm
We
just
know.
saying though, you apologize to the Chinese in Chinese over Taiwan being a country, and every non-communist country in the world sees Taiwan as a country,
Yeah.
and you apologize for calling them a country. I know who's writing your paychecks,
Yeah.
and it's the communist Chinese.
You gonna get our podcast shut down?
Let the Chinese come after me. I'll show them a little American how we in America, do
America.
it. I'll
All
lay a
right.
smackdown on
So
them.
you got the Wily Kittens, the Thunder Kittens.
You know something I never understood about
Okay, let's have something else.
Thundercats?
What else? What's that?
How Lino's the only
Why
one
do
that
Lino
ages.
age, and then those two little guys don't age?
Nobody else aged. Only Lino.
Because he needed to age so he could be a grown-up guy, but he still
still
has.
could be the
He
leader.
still has
He
a.
could be the
I mean, he is still being taught.
The
when
brain of a child.
He is technically the leader of the Thundercats or whatever, but every one of them, even the kids, are teaching him lessons when they get to New Thundera. Like, and that's the point of the show, kind of like he's becoming the leader. He is physically the leader, but he still does not have the experience of any of these other people.
Yeah.
Like I said, he still has the mind of a
Yeah.
child.
Well, it's the
He's got
same thing
childlike
like in
mind.
ancient times or whatever. Like you got 13-year-old kids, the king of the
Yeah.
country because of who his dad was. Like it didn't make sense, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So we'll start with Wily Cat, which was the female, I think. Is that cat or Kit? I want to say Kit was the dude. Doesn't matter. The little girl cat.
Yeah.
I said Chloe Grace
The baby.
Moretz. You know who that is?
Don't even know
She was
who it
Hit
is.
Girl.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know Hit Girl.
She's getting a little older now or whatever. So, but I was thinking about young
Well,
actresses.
she's gonna be CGI'd anyways.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
She
Yeah,
look like
you
a tiger.
could.
Yeah.
You could. But they're, I mean, you could play them off as 18, 19-year-old kids or whatever
Mm-hmm.
at this point. So they could have her in costume. She's not a large woman or whatever. She still looks really young, and I think she actually is like 20 or 19 or something. So I'd say just put her in costume. But I like her as an actress. She's pretty good. The dude, Kitten, I said Tom Holland off the top of my head, just because you don't. I'm trying to think of any real good young actors or whatever.
Yeah, but the only other people you have is the people from Stranger Things.
Yeah, and I don't know any of them well enough to say that. Well, hey, that chick could do
Dustin.
Wile E. Kid. Yeah, you could get 11 to be
11.
Wile E. Kid. Yeah, she could do that.
You can't. Those two, Tom Holland and her.
Hate each other?
No, they're not
Oh.
playing no supporting
Oh,
little
they will in my
character like
movie.
that.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will.
Tom Holland.
But
I'm
as
not
my
the star.
alternate, as my alternate, now this is an older guy or whatever, but I still Zac Efron is Wile E. Kid. I think that'd be all right. He's funny. I like him. They kind of use them somewhat. They could be comedy relief here and
He
there
could
or
be
whatever.
Lionel.
Actually, Zac Efron would be a good
Tigra.
Tigra.
He would, and I didn't think
Yeah.
about that until
Yeah.
just now because I was
Have
I
you
was
seen
pull,
how
I was
Screen
pulling a
rewrite. Rewrite.
It could be.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to move Zac Efron to Tigra.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got some suggestions for Tiger, but he was for me. He was probably the hardest one to pick because, like I said, he is just like a vanilla character. He's like a nobleman almost. Like you can tell he's got some like the noble regality about him or something. But Panthro has a specific look about him. Tiger is just almost like a smaller lino. It's like I don't know. But Zac
Well, they
Efron I
could make
think would
him
be
look
all right.
better than the main person. So
You
it's
could,
like
right. And I love I love all their designs. I think they all look
Oh,
really good.
yeah.
actually, in the I like the way he looks the best. I like his weapon
Yeah.
the best.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I was always a Panthro homer because blue's my favorite color,
I like
and I liked
Panthro
his
too,
his
those
red and blue
chucks and
nunchucks.
that
His
spikes.
spikes.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I love.
He does
Panthro.
have probably the coolest overall look.
He was my favorite as far as looks for sure.
I tell you, we're talking about looks here, and we're talking about Zac Efron.
Yeah.
Have you seen how weird he looks lately?
I hadn't.
It's almost like he's on HGH.
I saw him pose. He was on Ellen or something, and he was posing with his new wax statue that looked just like him from Baywatch. Yeah, it was identical.
His facial features
Really?
look like they have gotten enlarged.
It's because he's growing into being a
man.
man.
No, I mean, he's
You've been
my
seeing him
age.
on
my facial features
he's
ain't
younger
changing.
Than you.
You know when-
he's been on High
No,
School
he's the
Musical.
exact same age
you
as
sure?
me. Yes,
He might be.
He is 33 years
so
old.
when he was coming up
He's
through,
coming into manhood.
when he was coming up, yeah,
Leave him alone.
you're turning the corner,
Look.
Philip.
Right.
You're going to start stinking in places that you didn't used to stink. You're going to start
I like
noticing
Zac
girls.
We just
Efron.
lost some listeners and subscribers
Yeah,
for
that's
him
what I
trash
mean.
talking Zac Efron.
You know Zac Efron talking. That looks just like a man to a child.
He does
to
got
me.
a weird
It kinda
chin and
does.
lips.
Yeah, a
no,
little bit.
look at how enlarged his
He's still a beautiful
face.
man. We all have to agree on that.
He is a beautiful man.
Yes.
Uh,
Zac
And I
Efron.
like him as an actor.
I like Zac
So
Efron.
he came out of Disney, like you said, the High
Who's that
School
serial
Musicals
killer
and
he
stuff.
played?
Ted Bundy, wasn't it?
Yeah. He did a good
I've
job
heard.
playing
I've
him.
not watched it, but I've heard it's really good. But anything he's been in, like I didn't watch Disney stuff. My wife did at that time. Like, man, gosh, she would watch anything on Disney. So
didn't
I
watch High
saw all
School
that stuff
Musical.
in the
I hate all
background.
that singing.
Yeah, me
Oh,
neither.
gosh.
Now that Vanessa Hudgens is a good looking girl.
33 years
I did
old.
it for forever.
Yeah. Okay. So, but I like Zac Efron. So he's funny too. Like he was
yeah.
really good in Baywatch.
Yeah.
Like he was,
Uh,
and the neighbors.
Neighbors.
Yes,
He's
super,
another
he's
one
a
of those
really
actors
good actor.
He
who
is.
you can throw him in
Yeah.
anything.
He is, and he can be jacked.
They need to
Like,
utilize him more than anything.
they
than
really
Marvel
do. They're
or
wasting.
DC.
That's what I mean. They're wasting
Yep.
their time on these people.
They
Like these
really
guys are
are.
getting
Don't wait till
older.
they're 45.
Zac Efron should be somebody. I don't know
Yeah.
who it is, but that's something. What roles could Zac Efron play in the Marvel universe?
come up with
That's
that.
another one. That's a good one because there's something out there for him, and I don't know
Zac
what it
Efron
is.
be?
He could be a young
Yeah.
Tony Stark. If they wanted to reboot and tell Tony Stark's origin, he could be a young Tony Stark.
He needs to be somebody that's going to be carry on, like, have a continuing story arc in
Yeah.
Marvel.
Oh yeah,
But he is. He's a missed opportunity
I
to
like
be.
He is.
I like him. Man, we need a movie with him and John C. Reilly in it together.
Yeah, and then Chris Pratt.
A buddy film. Chris Pratt, I
Well,
don't
you
think
can
is
have Zac
genuinely
Efron
funny.
and Chris Pratt as like brothers.
I don't. I think Chris Pratt usually comes off as like he's doing the best he can with a script that somebody else wrote. I get the
Well,
feel.
he's funny.
I get the feeling
I
that
love
John
him as
C.
Star-Lord.
I like him as Star-Lord, and I'm not saying no, he is good as Star-Lord, but I think most of the jokes and stuff they give him, it just sounds kind of like he's reading.
Look,
the
Chris
script.
Pratt is our only
I like him.
major
I know.
conservative
I really like.
actor
I
who
really
stands
like
by
Chris Pratt.
by his
I do.
values and his
You're
morals.
right. You're right. I
We're
really
gonna
like
talk
Chris
politics
Pratt.
on
I know,
Yeah.
but I'm just
podcast.
saying.
I really
Like,
like
Yeah.
Chris Pratt. I do.
I love Chris
I
Pratt.
liked Fat Chris Pratt in Parks and
Rec.
Rec.
He's
Yeah.
hilarious.
He is
in
one of
Parks and
he's
Rec.
Yeah.
one of my favorite characters on there.
Yeah.
He is.
That and Billy on the Street.
I don't know. Chris Pratt may not be a conservative. I don't know, but I know he's a
I don't
big
know.
Christian.
Yeah.
And I know he don't back down from his.
I heard him talking about milking his wife this past week.
I don't know if I want to hear that.
Yeah.
He's married again?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
married to Arnold
Catherine
Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yeah, I forget.
Schwarzenegger. Yeah,
I forget.
Oh, what's her name?
Catherine Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
I forget. I just remember him and Anna Faris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have
She's
an
hilarious
autistic
and Just
son
Friends.
and- yeah.
With Ryan Reynolds.
So I don't know. Like I said, for Wile E. Kit, it was between Tom Holland and Zac Efron. You got any better suggestions? By all means. I don't know. I don't care much about
Honestly,
the kittens enough. Who cares? They're not one of the big ones.
Yeah.
You know?
Those need to be up and coming actors.
Yeah, it
and
could be.
actresses.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, they're
you,
nobodies.
you could probably still
Get
fit
somebody's
that hit girl
kids.
in
Yeah.
there because she's not doing anything.
Yeah. Okay.
But there's no way Tom Holland can be in that role.
Here's my hardest one, Tigra. So if the first name I shot out there, because I mean Tigra's not jacked. I mean he's in good shape. He's lean. He's not the powerhouse. Panthro's the powerhouse. He's not super tall like Lionel or whatever. So I'm trying to think of like body types or whatever. And I put Jake Gyllenhaal to begin with. You know what I mean? Like he did good as Mysterio.
He did, but for some reason I don't like him.
I like him all right.
Yeah,
I like Jake Gyllenhaal.
I think he's another good actor.
I do too.
What was that movie? Did he play like something like?
He's in that movie we watched the other day, the day after tomorrow.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I know
I
that,
didn't even know it till we rewatched it.
Yeah.
It's such a stupid movie.
Yeah, it's stupid. It is a good movie as far as action
but-
or whatever.
I like
but
Dennis
it's-
Quaid.
I do too, but it is definitely a political, like pushing an agenda movie.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
Which Dennis Quaid's another one of those that I'm
He's
like,
a conservative.
he is conservative, I think.
I think so.
because he's like, he was just
Hey
on the.
man, but if you'll pay me millions of dollars to be in a movie, you know,
I'll push a
I'll
little
gray,
global
I'll,
warming.
I'll gray the water a little bit.
yeah,
you know,
right.
Hey, global warming is real.
Yeah, but it's sort of cyclic.
That's
you
that's
know?
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like
it'll warm
it's
up,
true.
and it'll cool down. Yeah,
it's
but
gonna
we didn't
cool-
have any effect on
had
it.
nothing to
Not
do
at
with
all.
it. But it is going to warm up.
One,
and it is
one-
going to cool
one
back down.
eruption's more carbons than all the cars in the world
know, right?
combined. you
And
know,
on top of that, like anytime it warms is when you have breakout civilization.
Yeah.
It never warms to a point to where it's uninhabitable.
right.
The worst times in history are when it cools down.
Yeah,
and you
right.
go into
Yeah,
an
that's
ice
the-
age.
You don't want that, right?
There's no
Like-
food.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
we can grow vegetables when it's warm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
you're
can
re-
survive.
They grow
You
real
were
good when it's
resetting
warm.
humanity
Yeah.
in the ice
Yeah.
age.
It's
you know?
never the Earth isn't going to kill everything off on it. It
It
needs
freezes. And you're like,
organisms
I should have
on
canned
it.
more tomatoes.
So dumb. We don't even have data from long enough to make any of these statements.
They don't.
You know,
but
like,
I'm telling you, I don't want an ice age.
I don't either.
Let it
Lord,
warm
no.
up 5,
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
degrees warmer than it
we
normally
can
is
all
in
run
an
around
area.
with hardly no clothes. Hide in the shade and
We
do
got
stuff at
pretty good air
night.
conditioners
Exactly.
too. you
We
know.
can do stuff at
Ice
night.
age would be horrible.
Look at all them people doing the road work.
Oh man, Whew. Good, doing good work for us, but I don't.
They
have
are.
to.
Thank the Lord for
Thank
those
you,
people
roofers
that do
and
that.
parking lot stripers and everybody
mean-
else. You know. All right, so like I said, I was drawing a blank, so I'm like, oh, who am I gonna put? So I said Jake Gyllenhaal. I got to thinking about it, and I was like, well, playing second fiddle, I could say like Henry Cavill. You know,
No second fiddle guy.
Oh,
yeah, I don't think he's a first fiddle guy. I don't,
He's a
Whoa.
1.5.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Back
man.
that statement down.
yeah. You think he really made the Justice League movie any better?
He's not that great
Not
in
really.
that, but The
Okay.
Witcher,
He's not seen it.
I fell asleep most of it,
It's-
but I liked
it's
him. in it.
alright.
Hey,
It's alright.
he's going to be playing Connor McLeod.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
they are
Highlander.
We're
remaking
looking, so I'm
Highlander.
looking at Thundercats as like the next event. No, it's not. But let's assume the Thundercats had the appeal of the Avengers, so where it's like big names want to be in this group. You know, it's not all focused on one person. It's like it's like everybody wants to be involved with this. It's like a Quentin Tarantino movie or whatever. You know, it's like
Which
we
nobody
just
wants to be
want-
involved in.
Yes, they do. He's always got big names in his movies, and they're good too.
Put Ben Affleck.
Big
Yeah.
names from 10 years ago.
Shut up.
Go with Loki.
Whatever.
Guy that played Loki.
I thought about that, but I was like, I hear his
Tom
voice, like,
Hiddleston.
yeah, and that's really what I was thinking of, like, because he's a nobleman, kind of like. So it's like, that's what I was thinking, like, who is a, you know, an average age, a British actor or whatever, and that's where Henry Cavill came into the list.
Is he British?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why he's in the
So,
Sherlock or Noah
anybody, hey,
Holmes.
trust me, about anybody you like in movies, except for
I don't, or
Does
not,
he have a
not
British accent?
American.
Because I don't think I've ever
Yes.
listened to him talk.
absolutely.
Well, then he's going to be freaking great as Connor McLeod.
Yeah,
I hope he can throw on that Scottish
I'm
accent.
sure he
And
can.
Enola Holmes, didn't he have?
Or actually, I guess,
An
well, he
accent?
was probably Scottish in that one. That guy that plays the original Connor McLeod, the guy that played
Highlander
Raiden.
is a Scottish
Big forehead.
character.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is
Yeah.
he Scottish?
No, I don't
Because he
think
has
so.
a weird
No,
accent.
he has a weird accent, but I don't think he's Scottish.
Yeah, he
It's,
just has a weird-
something Lambert. I
Do
can't.
you like Highlander? Renee didn't like it. I freaking love it.
I'm trying to think back to
I
it.
think it's because it's so old.
That's what I mean. I remember Highlander as being one of those movies that came on Fox after cartoons went off on Saturday, and I saw part of it just because I was still
It's
sitting
like-
in front of the TV. I don't, and then like, well, there's another reason I watched Highlander as a child. We talked about it the
Yeah,
other
we
day.
did.
But, yeah.
Renee can probably guess.
Probably. Well, you are guaranteed at least, anyway. Back to the Thundercats. So I want Benedict Cumberbatch to be in here somewhere, so I wrote him down next to Tiger, but he's too tall and lanky, and it's like, it just wouldn't work.
Well,
But I was
first
just
off,
thinking
you're
British
looking at this
actors.
from. Let's be realistic. None of these people are going to be in a suit. It's going to be CGI characters,
I don't
voice
think so.
acting.
I'm trying to cast it as if they could either CGI over their faces. I'm trying to put people in these suits. I was thinking of body build and mannerisms and
think they'll
stuff. They may not, but
be
that was
too hard.
Well, this is my movie though, so
you're right. This
so
is your movie.
this is the way I looked at it.
But
Okay.
Speaking of the Henry Cavill,
Yeah.
did y'all see where it might have been a fake article thing though, but they were going back and forth between like him and Chris Hemsworth for playing He-Man.
It's a good discussion to have.
no, we
And a
don't need
He-Man.
him as He-Man.
Which one?
We don't need Henry. He don't have the body. He can get
Hemsworth,
jacked.
Hemsworth would
but-
be a good.
Yeah, Hemsworth would be a good He-Man.
He just his body like he's jacked.
Well,
he's
he's
got
also,
a
if
good
he's gonna be
body,
a Highlander though, he needs to focus on that too.
but
not try to
he don't
do
have
other
the
things.
body build for He-Man.
I don't know. Anytime you see Henry
you see
Cavill
legs.
jacked, he's not cut. He's big mass, and you can see his muscles or whatever, but he's never cut down to.
Yeah, he don't have a
maybe he
He-Man
could, though,
body.
but he
Chris
might could.
Hemsworth ain't got He-Man legs.
But
no, he
would.
don't. But
he
man,
would.
he's
That's the
got
bad
the
thing is
He-Man build.
He might
yeah.
up top, but I mean, he wears a loincloth and
He-Man's got
them
giant
Well, if you
legs.
think
legs.
about
Like,
Dolph Lundgren, I mean, he was in pretty good shape, but I mean, he wasn't the cartoon caricature.
the
And they
back
did-
end, when
that
they
movie-
did him, he was very jacked.
That is a hard movie to watch.
It is bad.
That is a bad movie. That's one of those I bought and I was like, oh yeah, hey man, I remember that. I don't think I made it through it.
Horrible.
What's the chick's name from Friends in that? She's in that. Courtney Cox is in that. Did not
Really?
remember that. Yep, she
I
was
don't
the main
remember that
chick
either.
in there. Yeah.
Speaking, I need to dig that figure out. I've got that He-Man movie, the main bad guy figure somewhere.
The
And He-Man's Skeletor.
No, in the movie, it's not Skeletor.
No, it is Skeletor.
Oh yeah.
It's that other weird guy.
there is another guy, but Skeletor is the main bad guy in the
Yeah,
movie.
he's always the main
He
bad
absolutely
guy.
is because it was what was the name of the guy that played him? I can't think of his name, but he definitely is.
Wait,
There is a
right.
secondary villain in that movie that's not in the show,
Yeah.
but it's not. But Skeletor is definitely.
Well, I
the
got
main
that
guy.
figure somewhere.
Okay. So I just like so I don't really have a good call for Tigra.
find it.
I just gave up on it. But we get to Chitara.
You just give up.
I give up.
On to
Well,
the lady.
And so actually already done these other ones before that. Chitara was the last one that I just. Anyways, Chitara. So I would say Gal Gadot. If we're looking for a current athletic, lithe female actor, I think she could pull it off. Chitara, Gal Gadot. But if I had from time immemorial whoever I really wanted, I'd say Robin Wright.
I don't know who that is.
She was she played the chick that trained Wonder Woman on the island before she came to the land of man or whatever. And she played. You ever seen the new Blade Runner 20, whatever it's called?
I have, but I don't
She
remember
plays the
much.
cop boss, his boss, the Blade Runner's boss.
Blonde haired, like main
She
lady
was- you
that's
remember-
over all the other ladies.
Yes. You remember Princess Bride?
Yes.
She's the chick in Princess Bride.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
you'd rather have her over Gal?
I like that. I like her in movies a lot. Anyways.
Your movie picks.
I also put Kate Blanchett, but
Blanchett.
she doesn't really fit
Is it
as
Blanchett?
yeah, Kate Blanchett. She
Or
played.
Blanchett?
I think Kate Blanchett, but you say however you want to.
Oh, it depends on what part of the South you're from.
Yeah,
She's
There-
a good actress.
she is. She is, but
She's
I
a
don't.
good actress.
I would say Gal Gadot is more. Chitara probably.
I would lean towards Gal.
I'm sure, but I'm
I'm going
it's my
with Gal.
movie. So.
It's your movie, but hey, if I would pick Gal.
Now, so here's my big one. So like Lino, once I figured out, yep, Lino. I didn't even think about it anymore. There's probably other options, but Panthro, that was my one. It's like, hey, you got to get Panthro right. So for Panthro, now both of these guys are going to have to do some acting because Panthro's he's an engineering genius. He created the Thundercat. He built the their little what's their castle called? Their the
I don't remember.
whatever their little fortress is. I can't remember. What
He
it's
had
called.
help from those bears.
The Burbles. They did.
They helped
But he
him a lot.
designed
That's
all
because
this
they're the
stuff.
builders.
Yeah.
So they
But he-
build.
But so I just we're going on looks alone because I want this guy in costume. I'm thinking Vin Diesel.
I was about to say
Yeah,
Vin Diesel.
yeah. But my second choice, and maybe Terry Crews.
Terry Crews would
I
be
think
great.
Terry Crews
yeah.
would be
Because
good.
honestly,
Panthro.
Panthro has to be a black dude.
And I thought that was one thing that I.
the way he looked.
Well,
The-
that was one of the things that I thought, because I think the original voice actor may have
He's
been a black
black.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what when I started thinking about that, I was like, and I'm a
Crews
white
would be
guy,
good.
and most of these action movies have white guys as the main actor. So as I was thinking through these, but when I got to Panther, I was like, this guy ain't got to be white. And I was like, Terry Crews is one I landed on. I
Yeah.
think he would be,
Terry Crews would
or
be good.
Ice Cube. We could get Ice Cube.
I know. His build's all
Well,
cool.
honestly,
Come on.
that Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, but I don't want him in my movie.
Okay, I'm just saying.
You know.
That dude,
You know,
he could be,
if
could be
you did
Wile E.
a
Kid.
African American Johnny Bravo, Terry Crews
Yeah.
would be
Terry
a
Crews would be.
perfect.
He would. Man, when he played President Hector Camacho,
I've
or
never
whatever
seen
from
Idiocracy.
Oh my gosh, you gotta watch Idiocracy. You probably wouldn't like it because you don't like good movies, but Idiocracy is hilarious. I love Idiocracy.
I like Terry Crews
So many
in
good things
Brooklyn
in there.
Nine-Nine.
Yeah. I just like Terry Crews. I think
Yeah,
he's a good actor.
he
He seems like a
is.
genuinely nice
Love the
guy.
white chicks.
he
You know,
does.
I think he's just.
It was seemed like it'd be hilarious.
Yep. But for Lino, who you got? I may have told you. Did I tell you who I said for
I
Lino?
don't think so.
Well, who would you guess?
He probably got Tom Cruise.
No.
Oof.
I know, but
Nah,
have you
man,
seen
he
his
ain't gonna be
cast so
on
far?
Shut up.
Like, the week.
Super.
Weak, bro.
Super awesome.
Who would you have?
He's jacked.
Will Forte.
No.
Hugh Jackman.
No,
He's jacked.
he's jacked.
You're probably going Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
I went Chris Hemsworth. When I landed on Chris Hemsworth, I was like, he's tall, he's muscular, he can command a cast or whatever. I was like, but he can also play naive, because the first Thor movie, he was a naive
Yeah.
jerk, like, or whatever, and like that's basically what you would want for Lion. I was like, nah, that's perfect. Like, I don't even have to think about this no more. He's the best of all of him and Terry Crews' Panthro. We'll figure the rest of it out later. But I mean, if I had that as my
I don't know.
foundation
I'm
or
trying to
whatever,
think.
now I got the best Mum Ra, but we ain't got to him yet. So I left him for last, but actually because I think he's probably the most fitting. But what do you think about Lino?
To me, Chris Hemsworth doesn't fit that role.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm trying to
Who
think
does?
who
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
That'd be a hard one to cast.
I wouldn't think twice. I would say, man,
You
if
get
we
Zac
get Chris
Efron.
Hemsworth, man, if he was a little taller, yeah,
You could always put him in some.
you
Well,
could put him on stilts.
Zac Efron probably could pull it off.
I don't
Got
know.
the
He
mind of a
could, because
child.
he's got to be, he's got to be kind of naive or whatever. He
Yeah.
could.
At least you could have him play the young version before he
And
gets
he ain't
Zach
got
to
to
be
look
big.
exactly
Yeah.
like, he don't have
but
to.
They're gonna CGI those characters.
If they CGI, I'm fine. At that point, we're talking about an actor, a voice actor, and I don't care about none of these people because I'm buying most of these people are their mannerisms and their athleticism.
They
and
would
stuff
do
like
it
that.
like the Hulk.
where
you
they
know,
do their face like they
Mark
capture their-
Ruffalo
yeah.
acted the
Right, I
whole
know.
everything
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
He was
Beefed him
doing
up.
all the acting.
But I'm like you. I really kind of want these people in some.
I
form
would
of
rather
costume.
have them in a suit.
Yeah.
It would be a better movie.
Now I don't want them in fake fur or whatever. If they have to, if that's the CGI part or whatever. But I want it to be
Well-
them really there.
If they look like,
Cheetor.
yep, in Wonder Woman,
Then
I'm
So,
out.
Yeah.
cut that. Yeah.
I hadn't watched it yet.
worst. Oh my
Oh, it's a
god.
horrible
I know.
movie.
Yeah, I've heard.
Well, I know it's a cartoon and they're not going to draw individual fur, but
Yeah.
you don't have to see every.
Well, and
individual
on,
strand of
on these people, it wasn't like they were big, bushy, furry cats or whatever. They were basically skin.
Yeah.
It was just colored skin, more or less.
Yeah, that's what I'm
That's
saying.
so yeah, it would
With
be
cat
easy.
features.
It would be easy to do.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
But that's why I want real people in it. So I was trying to figure out who physically fit these roles, not just like the mannerisms or whatever. Like Bradley Cooper does great as Rocket Raccoon, but it's a CGI raccoon. Like you could get anybody to be a smarmy jerk. Bradley Cooper is not the only person that could be Rocket Raccoon, I guess what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure this out to where it was like, he nails it physically, tonally, athletically, that kind of stuff. I don't know. That's who I came up with for the good guys. And I only did one bad guy. I only did Mum Ra. We got
You
John
got Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe.
Is it?
Can you imagine? The big Mum Ra has got to be CGI. But if you think about the little scrawny mummy, he is Willem Dafoe. He talks. When he talks and stuff, like it is Willem Dafoe. I think that Mum Ra is based on Willem Dafoe.
It could be.
There ain't a better
That's
person
how-
for
that's-
it.
That's the vibes I got was Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe,
I was
absolutely.
sitting here, that's why I was sitting here thinking. I was doing like this. I was like, who is it that plays
He was,
Goblin?
yes, he was like Chris Hemsworth. When I landed on him, I was like, man, I don't even think about this no more.
got my
If
movie.
we get Willem Dafoe, we build the rest of this thing off of him. He
He
is.
probably would be a
He is
great
Mum
Mum
Ra,
Ra.
absolutely.
What
That's
was
another
that thing
great
we watched the
actor.
other
He
day?
is. He is. I love
Phenomenal
Willem
actor.
Dafoe.
The weirdest looking dude.
Did
He is.
Seth show you
That Joker over where
that
they painted him
thing?
up, like he was going off
Yeah.
on some kind of a rant,
Yeah.
like some video
Talking
he
about
were.
the gap in his teeth.
It
and
was
I can
weird.
Get
It was
fixed
like
and-
it was something. It was something weird,
was-
like where
What,
somebody
Willem
had put.
Dafoe's doing this?
Yes,
He's
they-
going on a rant?
Yeah.
It's not like a rant. It's like it's a prepared thing. Like
yeah, it's like a commercial almost.
Right,
like
but it's like Willem Dafoe talking about Willem Dafoe, and somebody painted over his face and made him the Joker, where it was just like some like a monologue that a crazy person would say, to a camera. Like if I just sit down and started talking to a camera, it's like crazy stuff it would say, and they painted him up like the Joker. It would work fine. He would be a great Joker.
You could put him.
He can be any psychotic.
He really can. He's got that look.
He does, but he's a great actor too.
He is a good actor.
I like Willem Dafoe.
He's a really good actor.
Yeah.
I'll put it up by this so people can hear it. I think my speakers.
It's
can't hear it.
long. We're not gonna listen to the whole thing because he showed it to
It's
me.
a minute 45.
Really, I thought, boy, it felt like a lot longer when Seth was holding his phone up to my face and making me watch it.
He makes me watch videos all the time. Oh. Whoever did the.
Suggesting that I fix them, but I like my gaps. As my father
You was
used
like-
to say, son, your teeth are air cooled. Gaps are openness, possibility, room to savor.
That's probably enough. You get the point. Like, it's just him going on crazy.
Greater the contact.
I'm sitting here talking to the camera, just me
Only a
and the
minute
camera.
left here.
Okay,
Well,
well,
how did they make this over the way? Because he does look like the Joker.
it's just a computer, so I mean, you can do anything with a computer.
Photoshop.
Yeah. Yeah, that one, there's probably an iPhone filter that I could download right now
Make you
that'd
look
do
like
it in
Joker.
real time. Like,
But
that,
did he
that
have
one's the
his
easiest.
purple jacket on already?
You can color that too. Man, I can make you look like a pink elephant if I got the right computer. Like, you can do anything.
Somebody can, but I don't know if you can.
Hey, take a look. I've taught myself video editing from scratch, sucker.
My teeth
I
are
can
air
tell,
Do
too.
cooled.
anything.
Yeah,
You
that was
can't
pretty
tell.
funny. Teeth are air cool. Pretty funny.
That's all I had. But so, and I'm thinking too, like it's the basic formula for any action-y, pop culture-y kind of movie or whatever. Yeah, it's action. I'm not looking for super greedy, like, because super greedy works for some things. Like, you want the Punisher to be super greedy. I don't need the Punisher cracking jokes or whatever. For this, I'm thinking basically the same thing as y'all. It's like Thor Ragnarok. It's like, it's a whole lot of action, a little bit of jokes here and there. Because
Who's
it's
your
ultimately-
director?
I didn't think that far, but you could put James Gunn on about anything and be like, because he can do a team movie. So
Or,
let's say James Gunn.
Happy.
Mhm.
I don't know why I can't remember his name right
Found
now.
out
John
he was in-
Favreau?
Yeah.
You remember a video game called Lollipop Chainsaw?
No.
Okay. Do you?
Yeah, we had.
You probably had it.
that
It's a
on,
more
like,
recent.
PS2.
I think it would be either 3 or 360. I think. I'm pretty sure. It's
PS3. It's PS3.
Yeah, I think it was. Have y'all
Yeah.
got it?
We did when
You
we
had
first
it.
opened.
So
it's
it's
like a $30 game.
I figured it probably was. James Gunn was the one, like, he wrote the story for that game. I didn't know that. I was watching a video today about it, matter of fact, and it looked like a real interesting game. It's like this,
Has like a-
Lollipop chainsaw.
yeah, it's like this
Yeah, it
hot
has,
chick
like, the
from high school or
girl, her
whatever.
legs and stuff. She's holding like a lollipop.
Yeah, but she
It's
carries
like
around like
$30
it's a
game.
zombie game. You're
Yeah.
fighting zombies. Like, she's got her boyfriend's decapitated head that she wears on his belt, and he still talks and everything because he got bit or whatever. So the only thing left is his head, and she's going around having, she's breaking the fourth wall, I think, and killing zombies and stuff. But it looked like a pretty neat third-person action game.
Have you watched Army of the Dead yet?
I haven't. You like it? That's
It's alright.
Bautista, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I thought about
This-
it. 'Cause you're talking
That's
about
a
the-
$80
really?
game
Okay.
now.
It's $80
Loose?
now.
Loose?
Complete. 45 loose.
Really? God, I was going to go look up a copy of it and get it probably,
We
but
had
not
it
for
But
that
yeah,
thing.
she's. I see her.
We had it completely. with
She
30
looks like
bucks.
Harley.
She kind of does, yeah.
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 That's her. Yeah. James Gunn had some sort of a writing credit on that game. I don't know.
Harley
I don't know if he
without-
wrote the whole story. Have you seen the SH figure art for Harley from the new Suicide Squad movie?
Mm-mm.
Her suit now finally basically looks like she did in the Arkham Knight games. Like, she's got like a split red and black like bustier or whatever, and like a jacket. Like, it looks awesome. Like, it's getting as close as they've probably done to a a comic book style or real world style Harley Quinn.
'cause I hated
Like
that
she's got one of her
All that
ponytails is solid black and the other one's red. Like
Yeah,
it
like
looks
supposed to
really
be.
it looks
Yeah.
really good.
And that's what she's gonna look
saw-
like in the movie.
Apparently, it's the
I mean,
figure from the
obviously,
movie. I
they made
guess at some point, I mean, she'll probably have 10 different looks in the movie, but at
Oh,
some
yeah.
point, it looks really good.
I saw this thing the other day where it said that if they would have came out with a Harley Quinn movie in the 90s, you know, the crazy lady from Waterboy, the
Yeah.
girlfriend, the you want me to kill him?
Yeah,
If they should have had her,
Yeah.
like that'd have been a perfect
would've been
role
pretty good,
for
yeah.
her to play. Would
Hey,
have been
she's
Harley
not
Quinn.
too old. She can still do it.
No.
You know.
I mean, she's
like
like
her.
any
She's
of these
pretty,
Hollywood
too.
people.
I
She's,
fix your lawnmower.
she ain't aged.
He can do what he wants. He's a grown man.
Great movie.
Yeah, I love the Water
I
Boy.
love the Water
That's
Boy
one of
too.
those from the outside looking in. You think like that's gonna
She
be
showed me her
stupid.
boobas, and
Yeah,
I liked
and
them.
you got my boobies too, and I like them. That's one of those I could sit down
Come on,
right
the
now
devil,
and
mama.
watch it.
You
Oh,
the
I love-
devil.
Yeah. Oh, I love that movie.
All those early '90s Adam Sandler
Sandler
movies
movies.
are like that
Oh,
until
so
the
good.
mid 2000s
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Like
Great
I
movies.
think what's the one where he's is it what was his first one? Was it Billy Madison? Was that his first one?
I'm pretty sure that had to be like
Maybe
his
it was.
first big
Yeah.
happy production or
It,
whatever.
it is.
happy,
It is still a good movie, but he definitely learned something from the first. Like the second, third, fourth, like his later films in that window you're talking about are definitely better than his very first ones when he was coming off of Saturday Night Live. But man, The Waterboy, I don't know if there's any better.
That's probably is one
Super
of his
good,
best movies.
man.
Yeah, it's great.
Golly. Henry Winkler's got a Roy Orbison tattoo on his butt. Oh my golly.
That probably is Adam Sandler's best movie.
I think it probably is.
I'm
I don't
I'm
know
trying
of
to
one
think,
better.
and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, because Happy Gilmore ain't.
I
Yeah,
like
it's
Happy
alright.
Gilmore, all right.
Yeah, it's alright,
that's
but
a
I don't
pretty
like
good
it
one.
better than Waterboy.
No, it's
I like
definitely not
Waterboy's
better.
best.
But Happy Gilmore is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then maybe like Big Daddy's pretty good.
Yeah,
I've
Big
never
Daddy's pretty good.
finished all of Big Daddy. I never.
well.
Yeah.
I liked Mr. Deeds.
Mr. Deeds
Yeah,
is
that's a good one. John Turturro's good. in that
Little
one.
Nicky used to be one of my favorites.
I never watched that.
I like.
But-
Don't trash talk Little Nicky.
I'm not gonna trash talk it.
I
but
know it's not that great.
After
it's
I've
alright,
rewatched it
but-
as I'm older,
Yeah.
it's not as good as it.
Yeah. Isn't
as I
Harvey
thought it was.
Keitel the devil in that?
I got a drip drop
Ain't it?
on my flip flop.
Yeah.
I never watched it. I
it's,
don't
I mean, it's good. Henry Winkler's in it.
know. Is he?
Yeah.
Doesn't Harvey Keitel play his dad, the devil?
You tell me names, and I'm just like,
I need respect. I get no respect.
no, that's the original devil, Roger
Oh no, that's
Dangerfield.
yeah, sorry, that's
Oh,
his.
yeah?
That's the granddaddy.
Oh,
He's
okay.
Lucifer.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's a retired
okay,
devil.
okay. I think Harvey Keitel's. I don't know. I've seen parts.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
can't remember. He's like
I don't
Spanish
know.
looking, like kind of short guy.
Maybe not. Okay. Well, we're at 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Well,
Oh
what's-
yeah, Lord.
What's funny is Chubbs is in it.
Chubbs.
He's
Yeah.
the dance
The
instructor.
little
It's all in the hips.
Chubbs.
Chubbs.
He got his hand bit
Happy
off by the
Gilmore.
alligator.
Teach him how to golf.
Chris Elliott.
I don't know what his name is.
Oh, Apollo Creed.
Yeah.
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
He's in it in
I didn't know
heaven.
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
He's in heaven teaching them dance.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all in
Reese
the
Witherspoon's his mama.
Yeah. It's good. It's
Reese Witherspoon is
Yeah,
his mom.
Reese
really?
Witherspoon's
it's a
his
good
mama.
movie.
Huh, okay.
But
Beautiful boy.
when I was a kid, that was probably like one of my favorite Adam Sandler
Yeah.
movies.
Mm.
It's not anymore.
Okay.
Is what I'm basing.
with a shovel.
Yeah, I already talked to the Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't see us hit him in the face with a shovel.
He's got that laugh. He loves Popeye's
Mr.
chicken.
Beefy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is it because it's
Yeah.
spicy?
I don't know.
Oh, I figured it probably was.
I would say the catchphrase,
Well, yeah,
but I
it says
can't.
it says the S word in it.
chickens.
The dookie.
Oh, really?
Popeye's chicken's the S.
I didn't
No,
know
it's
that.
effing awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
hard.
Okay. Well.
And
You ever
you
heard
could-
any of Adam Sandler's like solo comedy albums?
Oh yeah, and used to have
He's-
a. used to
he is
listen to him
raunchy.
constantly
Boy,
as a
he was
kid.
raunchy.
Oh, I like him in 51st Dates too.
He's in a lot. He's got a
So
lot
50
of great.
First Dates is a good movie, but
It
man,
is.
it is sad. Like even
It
even in the
is.
best scenario,
Yeah.
she wakes up with no memory of all that every morning. I mean,
Talk about a rapist.
man, yeah, seriously.
I know, right?
Absolutely.
Wake up, you're pregnant.
Absolutely.
Oh, what
yeah, you've been
happened?
pregnant for going on 9 months or
Yeah.
whatever. Like you don't even remember it
Oh, I got a
happening.
baby.
Yeah, I've got to fall in love with this guy. You know, it's like maybe she wakes up some morning and she don't care for him that much. It's like, what does he do on them days?
That would
He
be a
plays her that
hard.
tape.
Terrible. That movie was sad as crap.
It's
Like
sad.
on the best day, she's still
Ben
gonna wake up
Aretha.
and forget everything tomorrow.
That'd be
I love
horrible.
Ben
I can't
Aretha.
imagine.
Can I have it?
Terrible,
That guy, yeah.
man. Okay,
Hi, I'm Tom.
Adam Sandler his movies get crapped on a lot. But
he's a good actor though.
yeah, and his movies are
And he
good.
seems like a nice guy, really.
His sense of fashion.
Hey, he's
is-
moving to Decatur.
I don't know.
You don't ever hear that constantly going around here.
No.
Adam
That
Sandler
he
had a flat
dies
tire.
at least like once every
Yeah.
year. He's
Adam
dead.
Sandler's moving to every city in America because he had a flat tire and somebody helped him
No.
and gave him a ride back to the hotel or something. He loves the city so much he's moving to.
Oh, okay.
When I worked at Southern Style Furniture, there's a dude that really thought Adam Sandler was moving to Decatur. I'm like, bro, that's a fake story.
Yeah,
Like,
why would anybody move?
Yeah, if he's been to
Everybody's
Decatur,
famous.
Yeah.
It
I
was
love Decatur, but that's
passing
because
through.
I'm here.
I mean, I like
I'm
Decatur.
from here. and
I'm
that's
not
why.
from here. And I mean,
Decatur's
I
okay.
like Decatur.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I like this
Parts of it's
whole
okay.
little
It's
area.
just the right size, and I guess as it grows, we're growing with it, so I don't
Except
hate
the
it that
mall.
much,
The malls
Yeah, we lost them all,
dying.
the mall, but
Malls
malls
are
are
dying
dying
everywhere.
everywhere. Yeah, that's not
Jasper
Decatur's
Mall.
fault.
Yeah.
That's
Look, like I
Amazon's
said, I'm
fault.
not from here. I like Trinity.
Yeah.
I like Decatur.
Yeah.
I like this whole little
I do
this little
too.
area.
I
Hartsville,
I've thought about it.
Moulton.
Like I don't really want to live anywhere else. I kind of like where we're at.
I like this area. It's
Yeah.
nice.
I'd move to
People are
Washington in a
nice.
heartbeat, but
Really,
Yeah.
just at Washington State.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
because of all the options you have.
Yeah.
You got the mountains, you got the beach, and you got a desert.
If I wasn't married, I'd be in Savannah,
Oh, like an
Georgia right
hour.
now.
Yeah,
Savannah,
Savannah's nice,
Savannah's
but-
awesome.
I got a job I could have there any day.
Washington's
Any
so
day?
nice.
Tess don't want to move to Savannah.
She's probably the one that's keeping it from. I mean, she may get closer and closer to that as time goes on or whatever. But I don't know if I want to move then. But yeah, if I was by myself, I'd be there. Be there now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Savannah's pretty.
Is it a better job opportunity?
Same
And then you
job.
could-
It's the same people I'm working with right
then
now.
you
We'd
could
just be
hunt
out
and
working out of their
ghost all
office.
the
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean.
No pay increase for moving.
I might could negotiate that out. Yeah.
If you can get more pay.
Yeah, I probably could.
Yeah.
You just
Savannah's
be
a
one
cool
of those
place.
people.
Hey, you're at the beach.
I live here
know.
during the week, and
Not
I
a-
live here on the weekend.
Well, and I can do that. I could do that right now if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a great beach. That's a 6-7 hour drive though.
I'm not. I wouldn't do
Horrible
that.
beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
But-
really good, but
Not a nice beach, but there's a lot
But
of
man,
good
the
food.
people that I work with that live there, it's like, man, you wouldn't have to visit but
Food.
one time. And they say what they say about about my wife. There's like, bring her down
Oh,
here.
have
We got a
y'all-
couple places to show her. Like she'll want to move.
have you ever been?
No, never been.
Oh, it's awesome.
I mean, I've
We-
never heard.
We all
of it.
need to plan a weekend.
We
for
should.
just ghost
Yeah,
hunt.
I would love to. Yeah,
Hey, I'm
yeah,
down.
yeah.
I
we
mean, there's
should,
real
yeah.
ghosts there.
Yeah,
I'm
real
down to
ghosts.
go
Yeah.
back to
There's
I'd love to,
people
yeah.
when you walking on the sidewalks. There's people buried under the sidewalks. And they like
Mm.
mark the sidewalks, let you know how many people's buried
Okay.
underneath them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
It's a cool town.
Yeah,
Super
definitely.
cool town.
Yeah, there's a lot of ghosts.
Do we have anything else that we absolutely need? We're at 2 hours and 10 minutes. Is there anything we
Ooh,
need to
2
cover?
hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah, 2 hours about. That's just our default. Like we don't even get started until 2 hours. Yeah,
know.
so.
That's when we really
we
get
go on
rolling.
for 45
Mhm.
minutes before we even start.
Yeah. Is there anything else y'all need to cover? Need to say?
I'm trying to
Anything going on in
think.
the store that needs to be said for next
Well,
week?
the
Not
store.
right now.
Not right now, but coming soon.
There's some
Keep an
big
eye
things
open.
coming
Big
with the store.
things
So
coming.
for sure, there's a website. It's coming.
it's coming.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
It's going to be delayed a little bit now.
It's gonna be
'cause
delayed a little.
Other things
but
have
for good things,
taken
for good
Yeah.
reasons.
precedent.
and
Yeah.
hopefully,
We'll have some good news soon.
probably by the end of the summer, there will be a legit website up.
Yeah.
Because I figure it's going to take a while to get a
It's
lot
got
of the
to.
product. I mean,
to inventory
can't-
what you got right now is going to take a while.
Yeah.
And just start small. Like you ain't got to put everything
Oh,
you own
yeah.
on the website.
Most stuff's going to be stuff
No.
no, for
Can't be.
entertainment or first.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah,
I
I'm
got 6
starting-
quantity of this.
Yeah.
I'm starting with the more expensive and stuff that's just going
Yeah.
to be easy to get on there.
Yep.
But the
That's
website's coming.
We're
It's
going to be
happening.
coming out with the Total Nostalgia boxes soon.
We'll probably sell those on the website.
Yeah, the Nostalgia boxes.
Nostalgia boxes.
Like old nostalgia type stuffs.
Yeah. Probably like a
No new
$50,
stuffs.
$60 box.
I might do it where you can pick.
Have different price points.
Yeah.
Yeah, go anywhere from like 30 to 60.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So
Guarantee you get like one sought after figure or something like that in a higher price tier or something like that. You know, who knows?
It's awesome.
Yeah, something.
Who knows?
We'll figure that out.
It should
You
be,
get a
it'll be a
whole
lot of
mix.
stuff from like the 90s.
Yeah. You get a dirty t-shirt and 45 Pokemon energy cards.
I'm definitely gonna put some of the Pokemon cards. Oh, and
Yeah,
if you
sure.
got any, if you've been following the Facebook page, if you got any leads of Pokemon cards
Oh, man.
graded,
Scum of the earth. that's
scum of
coming
the
to
earth.
store.
You know, we had 6 cards stolen out of the store.
I really
Ridiculous.
don't want to
Between
watch all that footage.
May 6th and
Last week.
last week.
Yeah,
so
he's on
May
camera,
20th.
but you just got to decide, is it worth
I know.
the time and effort? It would be to me, like to find this sucker.
Yeah.
I would, but
Yeah,
that's a lot of time too.
It is.
I mean,
I
golly,
probably
what are you
am
gonna
gonna
do?
go
You gotta
back
sit
and
down and
rewatch it.
watch
Well, I
it.
mean, you can probably get it pinpointed close to
7
within
hours.
a week.
Oh, yeah.
You think?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I think.
I'm sure.
I think he probably came in once a
2 or
week
3
from that time
times.
period and probably stole 2 cards at a time, maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It'll be easy to pop 2 cards in your pocket.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's
slip
so
right
many
out.
times where she's either doing something in the photo booth and you're dealing with another customer or something that somebody just ain't Hawkeyeing you right there.
But now, if you want to look at graded cards, you got to ask.
Yeah, yeah. We
I'm
got
just
'em
gonna
pulled
put
up
Because they're
all-
going to go
now.
to. I'm
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about until we
Yeah.
get our case set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna set up a new case that's
Yeah.
just got the Pokemon cards.
Everybody has to suffer because of
I
the
know.
actions
that's
of
the
an
way it
idiot.
is.
That's the way the life is.
It really is.
We all pay for the idiots.
And if
You
you're
do.
listening to the
Yeah.
podcast, you best not be coming back in the store
Yeah.
if you know
Oh,
what's
man.
good for you.
I doubt these people are listening to the podcast,
I'm just saying if they do.
and I'm pretty sure they saw the Facebook post and they're probably not coming back. to
Yeah,
listen.
I would.
I've been
Yeah.
trying to take a mental catalog of everybody I know who's into Pokemon that comes into the store.
that are
Well,
not coming
I-
in anymore.
That I haven't- that I'm not
Well,
Yeah,
I
that-
kind of have a general idea of the look of them, but I can't exactly remember the face without going back to the camera.
Well, if I was
Of,
that
you know,
close,
the
I'd probably
same
go look then.
people's-
Yeah.
That keep coming up there to the Pokemon.
Yeah, I've been trying to rack it in my brain.
But I'll
I
probably
got it
end up
narrowed down.
giving
I know who it
in.
ain't.
Yeah, yeah. I know the people it's not.
Yeah, I can tell you that. I know
So.
who it ain't.
All right, that's probably enough.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know of anything else.
So
Is
you
there
don't forget
anything?
the keyword.
Yeah, we got the keyword.
Marshall Brave
we're,
Star.
we're not going to re-say it because then if you go to the
I
end
know.
of the
I was
movie,
just waiting for that.
come on, Philip, good gosh, we've done this is the 8th episode and you're still blowing it.
Hey,
I still got to go edit now. At least this is at the end. I know where I can go back
Hey,
and get
Yeah,
it.
just get
Well,
the end of
and
it.
I've only
Yeah.
said one thing in this when I said no curse word.
Yeah, that's you're doing better for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, just apply that to your life and you'll be a better person.
I can tell you getting sleepy. I was getting ready.
He needs a little nap.
sleepy.
He needs a little nap. He's a tender little guy.
that-
We found that out.
It's
I
that
mean,
depression sleep.
that's probably what
We
it is.
trying to shake off from the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been a rough week.
It's
Well,
been a rough
but
week.
you've had some good times
been a
too,
rough
though.
month.
But you've
It
had
was a good month.
some stuff
Yeah, some
showing
very
up,
crappy
you know.
months.
So,
Yeah,
And now it's getting good again.
so
you know that's the way it
that's
goes.
the way life is.
Yeah. It
We
really
go
is.
from global warming to an ice age.
Yeah,
I know,
There's
right?
ups and downs.
It really is.
It's the good Lord testing you, and then
Mhm.
rewarding you,
Yeah, there you go.
and then testing you
Rains
again.
on the just and the unjust alike.
Yeah.
It does.
It does. It
Is-
does.
do we know what we're doing the next time we do this? I'm not going to say next week because we seem to hit roadblocks a lot here recently that puts off the recording. It's a Friday night at 10:43
Yeah.
right now.
I figure we'll be back on the swing
Probably
once a
so.
week.
I don't know. We don't really have a topic, so we'll figure that out.
No.
Yeah,
Probably just be a general random.
maybe we
normal
try to
episode.
do a little of the research on the repurposing of action figures.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do have my list too of the games that they're making into movies and shows.
Okay.
So I got that big old
We'll have something
list. Oh
We'll,
yeah.
have something. We'll
And
figure
then
it out.
there'll be
I got
enough.
that one.
Yeah, most of the stuff we talk about is not. Yeah, it's completely useless, and we never thought we were going
It
to talk
is.
about it when we get here.
Yeah,
It
so
just
It's
happens.
random facts for
there'll
your
be
life.
plenty of that.
I mean, we got 30
Filling
minutes or
in the
better before we
voids.
ever hit record.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? There was something we were talking about. It's like, oh, it'd been good to have been talking about that on here.
Oh, we were talking about different styles of like comedy.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
That's right. Yeah. All right. That's enough. Have a good one.
Yeah.
All right.
Hope you
peace.
enjoy it.
See ya.